If I don't have the chat popped out in Skype, the regions are totally fucked. I knew I forgot something. Sorry, guys. This has been a long day for me. And by long day, I mean I woke up like an hour ago, but I only slept like 4 hours. So it's been a long yesterday for me that continued into today. Nigel's sleeping well. When does that happen? I don't know. I hope you guys have been well, like IRL.
Yeah, pretty well. And before we get started, we have a special guest sitting in with me in real life.
Yes,
we have
do.
lean in if you can. It's
It's Shane.
It's Shane. Shane Creeper.
It's Shane. Everyone's favorite brown sugar man.
He's shorter and he's also a little limited by the length of the cable on the headphones he's using, so he's gonna have to kind of sit off to the side for it. But Shane is here.
Okay.
He's hearing us.
Hi guys.
And
remember when Shannon was on your stream for a little bit during your 24?
Yeah.
She was like sitting at your computer. She like she couldn't see the chat. She had to like look.
Yeah,
up
the microphone was in front of her eyes.
Oh man.
Short people are funny.
I guess she didn't want to like move anything with your setup or what.
She was pretty considerate, to be fair, of her.
Yeah.
So
was great.
You want to introduce the rest of us? We got Shane.
Yeah.
And then by the way, Shane is Indie Blade. Indie Blade. If you don't know
Indie
Shane.
Blade in the chat, great dude in the community.
Yep.
Thanks.
Mods
Good
for
mod.
everyone because everyone loves him.
He's the only one who's ever managed to successfully like edit commands of mine.
Yeah. Well, you use that scuffed bot, Chase.
My bot is superior. It's just that the syntax is not.
Scuffed. All right. So I am Iron Strix. We host a podcast here on my channel. Hi.
I'm Tripwire.
I am clinically depressed.
But you have dragon claws.
It also translates into VW Vorpal Tongues.
Is that what the V's and W's are like? They're like, oh, does that stand for West Virginia? And I'm just like, it stands for I'm depressed.
It stands for I played too much Xbox. Is what it stands for.
I used to,
which is pretty much the same as being clinically depressed, I think.
Basically.
Harsh. But playing too much RS is fine.
We appreciate it, man.
Nova C.
You guys are awesome. The nose raid.
Doris.
Hog champ. All right. So, yeah, you guys are coming in at the perfect time. We're just about to kick things off here. So what do we want to start with? You guys want to start with the poll or you want to start with the month ahead?
You are the host. You tell us what to start
with.
All
right.
Hey, you kind of direct it, man.
Yeah.
Right. No, I just want to get into the poll because really there's just one particular question I just want to tear apart. I just want to have a good rant and see what you guys think.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure we're all inclined the same way on this one. So let's go through the poll, shall we? The poll's still running. The poll ends Monday, which is pretty weird for a poll to end on a Monday. Usually they end on the update or before the update or like the day after the update. But this one, didn't this poll start on like Friday or something?
Yes.
It started at a weird time.
I thought it was already over.
Or it started like Wednesday or something.
It started on the 4th. So that was Tuesday.
It started at a weird time. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, so I was correct then. Mostly correct. So it started at a weird time. It's ending Monday, which is kind of bizarre. But basically, we'll start with the first question, which is: should monsters from Neve's Cave be relocated to new and bigger dungeons around the world? This should increase the number of monsters available at any given time. You can see further details in the recent Slayer dev blog. So I don't think we ever went over the Slayer dev blog because I think that came out right after.
Yeah.
Our last podcast. We haven't actually got a chance to talk about the Slayer dev blog.
Mm-hmm.
But I think most people are familiar with it now at this point because it's been out like a week. So basically they wanted to relocate everything like all over Kourend instead of all over Gielinor instead of just in Neve's Cave, right? Because Neve's Cave is let's be honest, Neve's Cave's kind of fucking lame. Like I don't know a nice way to put that.
I don't know, Nigel. The caliber of players that are in Neve's Cave all the time they're pretty good. They're pretty good at the game most of the time. It's elitist.
Don't you love when you have your I don't play in main, but I see this all the time. you have your cannon down on blood velds, and like one dude's like, "Hey, bro, can I work in? Like, do you mind if I just take this blood veld from you, bro?" It's like, fuck off, please.
I
But
had
it's like
that.
that in every world.
The guy was like, "It's okay, I left you 2 of the spawns," and it's just like, dude,
You can have 2 of the blood velds.
I
It's
found an
like,
empty world so I
can
could have
kill all
3 out of 3 spawns.
Yeah, it's like,
It's not my fault you're level 95 and I killed them way faster than you, but I kind of need all of them.
yeah, like I don't even play a main, but
Just
I
being
understand.
greedy, Chase.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't get it. Like there's a very good place for you to kill blood velds that doesn't allow cannons, that has tons of spawns that nobody takes.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't just walk into the cave for it. You actually
Yeah,
have to
that's
go
true.
there.
Yeah.
You can't just walk 2 feet to your slave
Yeah.
task.
It's very inefficient.
Extremely. Yeah, so I think it's kind of cool that they want to, the whole goal of this this poll question is, we want to provide you, the players, with more spawns because, well, I mean, let's be honest, shit's crowded. But we want to like push stuff away from News Cave because News Cave is, lame, and they realize it's lame. So the idea here was we'll just quickly run through the dev blog. They want to retain in News Dungeon. They want to retain the Blood Velds, the Ankus, Aberrant Specters, Hellhounds, and Fire Giants. That would be it. Everything else would move. But everything else that remains there, it gets their spawns like Blood Velds goes from 9 to 12, Ankus 6 to 8, Aberrant Specters 12 to 13, which is like a small change. Hellhounds 8 to 13, which is pretty big for people who can't.
That is big.
And Fire Giants 11 to 12. So a lot of these changes are small, but some of them are really big, like the Hellhounds. They're basically adding a whole nother Hellhound room, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
So that means the Black Dragons would move to Taverley. So there would be a quick way to access them from Taverley. It doesn't even need a shortcut. I'm surprised at that. But I mean, the News Cave one doesn't really require a shortcut either. So I guess it makes sense. And then they're going to relocate all the demons to Korend, very, very close to a new fairy ring. That's what I think is cool. All these spots, they added really quick access via teleports, right?
Yeah.
So like they're just putting a new fairy ring on Korend, which I think is good, by the way. It's very well located. It's located right next to the shamans, basically.
Oh,
which is
okay.
very convenient if you want to hunt shamans. So that will increase Black Demon spawns, Greater Demon spawns, all that stuff. Basically, all the stuff that they're moving has the same rules as it did in the caves. Or sorry, in News Cave, I should say. So basically, if you could cannon it before, you can cannon it now, with the exception of everything that goes in the Slayer Tower, which is going to be, they're adding even more Blood Velds. So there's going to be even more Blood Velds, more Gargoyles, Necryls, and Abyssal Demons, but only accessible on task in the basement of the Slayer Tower. So I think that's pretty cool. The only one I think that's going to piss people off a little bit is the Calphite Hive has been located right next to the Shanty Pass. Like it's to the east of the Shanty Pass.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a weird location, right? I think the quickest way to access that is doesn't Necklace of Passage or the Amulet of Passage have a teleport to Shanty Pass, or am I imagining things?
No, it doesn't.
It does not.
No, I was looking at it yesterday, actually. It's Wizard's Tower and then some other useless places.
Okay, so it's like there's like no good teleport for there, right?
No.
Except for the Diary teleport, I think. Because I think the guy in the Shanty Pass is like the Diary guy, right?
I mean, you can dual ring it and run. It's not gonna
Yeah,
kill
you just dueling ring or run, or probably Al-Kharid on
Yeah,
the
Glory.
and run, or pull
Yeah.
Niche and take the carpet ride. There's a few good ways to access it. I think probably the pull Niche and then carpet ride is probably the best one.
Probably, yeah. It's right
But
there.
it's a little more awkward to access Calphites, but I think that's fine. Thematically,
I think
it makes
that's a
sense
good
for the
thing.
game. Yeah, I think it's a good thing. Because thematically, it made no sense to have like, all right, we're walking into this cave in the middle of the land of, like gnomes and fairies and shit. And then, oh, hey, by the way, there's a desert. Like, what the fuck, Jagex?
Yeah, that makes 0 sense.
It made 0 sense. It really, really, really made 0 sense. It was nice. Let me tell you,
It was
convenient as all hell.
convenient, but I would rather have the game feel more unique than just, well, everything's here, go kill it.
Yeah,
Like I really like having to travel to kill shit. Like that's how it was
that's
back
like
in
the whole
day.
point of Slayer, right?
Yeah. Like you're going out into the world, you're going on an adventure. You are assigned to hunt these fuckers down and slaughter them. It's genocide, motherfucker.
Oh wow,
They're just
we're
all
getting
in the
all
cave.
apocalypse now up
Like
in this
that.
bitch.
Just nuke the cave, bro. Kill them all.
Kill
Like,
everything. It's the ultimate Slayer task. Kill half the shit in News Cave. Put it somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's like that that meme from SpongeBob where Patrick just suggests that they push the city somewhere else.
Yeah. Why don't we take all the stuff in News Cave and push it somewhere else? It's a good idea. I'm behind that. Right. So we've also got the Smoke Devils are getting moved. They're getting moved. Originally, they wanted to move them to Piscators, which I thought was weird. I was like, why don't you just put Kraken there? But that's what they ended up doing. So Krakens and Piscators and now Smoke Devils are just south of Castle Wars. So the Kraken Cove is accessible by ferry ring, Piscators teleport, Western Diary banner thing. Smoke Devils obviously you can get there very easily from Castle Wars. So they made very sure to think this out. So like, where can we move the stuff that's really close to easily accessible teleports? So even though it's a little more inconvenient to get to some of these places, thematically it makes more sense and it's very accessible if you can currently access your Slayer tasks, basically. I think it's cool.
They're effectively making it make more sense without really inconveniencing us that much at all.
Yes. Oh, also water fiends are in the Kraken Cove. There's like 15 water fiends in there.
Yay.
And nobody cares.
Yeah, for all the people who ever don't skip water fiends. Just like 3 people.
I'm gonna be there, man. As soon as they come out with fucking Crimson Charms, I'm gonna be there.
Oh god.
Once we got those Crimson Charms, like, ooh, Daredevil.
Yeah.
Give me them water fiends, baby. Anyways, yeah, this question's passing. We don't see it failing. It's like 80-something%. Thank God players realized this was something that should pass. This is actually the poll question I was the most worried about. Not passing. I thought actually a lot of players would think this is inconvenient as fuck. Fuck this shit. I want my News Cave efficiency forever.
I assumed it wouldn't pass either, actually, but it passed by a lot.
Yeah, it passed by a very wide margin. I've been surprised by stuff like this in the past that, like, got a lot of support on Reddit, got a lot of support on Twitch, got a lot of support on Twitter, toss it out into the main game, and those other 15,000 players are just like, what? No. It's it's a good feeling that I think everyone, I wouldn't say everyone, but a lot of people thought for a long time that this was something that should happen. And it's really cool that we finally get it. So we'll move on to the second question now. Should a second entrance to the Brimhaven dungeon unlocked for a one-off payment of 5,000 trading strix, which is like nothing?
Trading strix.
Added to Type
You guys
1A.
you guys hear that? You actually said that.
Oh yeah.
Trading strix.
Did I say trading strix?
Yeah. Arrogant.
It would take you directly to the entrance of the Metal Dragons. So there's going to be a new Metal Dragons area as part of the Slayer changes as well. I didn't mention it because everyone blocks that shit anyways.
I'm excited for it personally.
Yeah, I mean, it's a new way to kill Metal Dragons, right?
Especially since with the Karamja Elite Diary, all Metal Dragons in Brimhaven drop noted bars.
Right? Yeah.
I'm going to use that a lot.
Actually, no, that's actually, I didn't even think about that.
That's probably how I'm going to make cannonballs in the future.
Once you get a Trident, right?
Yeah, Trident shreds Metal Dragons.
Yep.
I know, actually, some Iron Men who are much smarter up here than me, I think they're in Erudite, were trying to figure out if red dragons were worth unlocking. And it turns out that like red dragons are some of the more efficient crafting XP you can do on Iron Man if you have the Karamja Elite Diary for the noted hides. As long as you're like still getting the Slayer XP or whatever from it. And even without the Slayer task, even off task, it's still really good XP because you're getting the bones and you're getting noted red dragon hides. It's actually not bad. Was basically their findings.
Yeah, I could see that.
So I don't know. I think Karamja Elite is like, we talked about this a while ago. The fact that like everything in the Karamja Diaries is crammed into the Elite Diary.
Everything good,
basically.
Yeah.
It's like shit that doesn't matter except for like if you're buying Onyxes for like the easy mediums. Then it's like you get the Karamja store for hards, and it's like, hey, fuck you, get 86 rune crafting for everything else. including like the low ass level fishing shortcut. I don't know, man. The Crab's Diary is weird.
Was the first
So
one?
weird. Yeah, it's bizarre, but I think slowly but surely we'll see it kind of retweaked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one's passing as well. This is one of those changes that just strikes me as like, why not?
Yeah.
Like even if you're not going to use it, it's one of those things that you might use. So thankfully that's passing. Right. So the next question was, should a Slayer Master who assigns wilderness only task be added in Edgeville? So this question was a little bit misunderstood by people, but thankfully players like got it enough that it passed.
Mhm.
So it says completing wilderness has to provide substantially higher Slayer points and rewards and will have a separate task milestone counter. I think that's the part that people didn't understand. So you can't just point boost with it, right? You couldn't just go do 9 tasks at Turiel or whatever and then come do your wilderness Slayer task.
Right.
You can't do that. It has a different counter. So initially people thought you could boost like stupid amounts of points with this. No, not possible. So I think Jagex did good there. They thought ahead on that one. There would be no requirements for using this Slayer Master. It's pretty fucking neato, actually. I think that might actually mean a lot, maybe for low level Slayer. But probably not, because it's all in the wilderness.
I like it a lot actually. Because like say you're on a pure and the best Slayer Master you can do might be like Vanaka or something. Like if you're trying to keep your combat.
Yeah, that's what I
low.
was thinking. Like
You get like
Vanaka and
4
Shale
points
Dog
to
get shit
tasks.
Yeah.
Not even the tasks themselves, the amount of points you get. Like
Oh,
there's
the
some
amount of
really
points,
nice
yeah.
things.
They're like worth nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, they're garbage. They're not worth doing at all.
Yeah.
This is gonna change that. And that's actually a really exciting prospect.
Can I,
Yeah, so
can I
yeah,
change my
it's
vote
a
to
way to rack
no?
up points.
I don't approve of content that is built around
Wait.
peers.
Wow. Thanks.
This helps peers and Iron Man. Vote no.
I know Shane's visiting me, but fuck Shane and all peers.
That's my plan.
Right.
TwitchCon, baby.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
TwitchCon, here we come. Right. So
In more ways than one.
yeah, we all figure this is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
There'd be no requirements, and then they go into further detail in the dev blog, which is basically, let's just go through the task list really quick. Now, some of this stuff seems really weird, but you have to realize some of these tasks count as like some of the wilderness boss tasks, right? So the first one, bears, you're like, what the fuck is bear?
Yeah, Callisto.
Callisto's a bear. Spiders, ditto. Venenatus is a spider. Scorpions,
Yep.
Scorpion is a scorpion, surprisingly.
No.
Skeletons, I believe
Vedion?
Vedion counts as a skeleton.
Yeah, he must.
Ankus are actually, I already do Ankus in the wilderness. This is already a very good task to do out in the wilderness.
Very good
Because
for dark bait.
The dark bait. You got
Yep.
a lot of dark bait. So I already do my Ankus out there. Good for Iron Man, not really good for anyone else. Well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe with the
I
dark
was gonna
bait.
say, I didn't even know there were Ankus. Oh, no, in the graveyard? Is that where you do it?
Yeah, they're in the
Okay, yeah,
Forgotten
I've
Graveyard, kind of
never
near
done-
KVD.
Yeah, I've never done that.
Yeah, it's actually a good task. Hellhounds, a lot of people already do Hellhounds out in the wilderness for clues with the Ring of Wealth.
Yep.
So even more reason to do them. Let's see. Actually, this, other than the fact that you have to be in the wilderness to get credit towards this task, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, this might be really good to get Hellhounds. And then I realized, well, you can't kill Cerberus. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. So ice giants, fire giants, lesser demons, greater demons, black demons, green dragons. Green dragons task is pretty cool. Lava dragons, ice warriors, earth warriors, dark warriors. I don't know where the dark warriors at.
I don't know, actually.
I don't know either. I don't think I've
Dark
ever killed one.
Warriors?
Aren't they
Dark
in there's like that castle, Dark Knight's Fortress. It's in the
Oh,
Lobby,
yeah,
like,
true,
where all
true.
they have like a
Oh yeah,
spawns
it's the
and
fortress where the
Yeah,
clue step is.
the Dark Knight's Fortress, right?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, they're just in the
yeah,
halls.
yeah, okay.
The hallways. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always knew they were the annoying fuckers that attacked me. when
Yeah,
I
you
did
just
that
run
one
by 'em.
step.
stuff. Yeah.
Chaos druids, bandits, rogues, magic axes. Magic axes are nostalgic as fuck, man.
Just go in the
Like people
hut.
used to kill those things saying RS Classic. It was like
Really?
one of the best training methods was going to the axe hut and RS Classic. Yeah, people used to just train there for hours. There was no bandits back then. Like people couldn't AFK on bandits or anything like that. So axe hut was where you went, man. It's where the party happened. Mammoths can be
Sam's gonna be happy.
Yeah, it's
Sam's
always
favorite
gonna
Slayer
think,
task.
always think of that now.
Yeah. Pro tip: don't die to a mammoth on your hardcore, guys.
Don't add anything on
Ents-
your hardcore.
Ents is a Slayer task. Ents are already pretty good to kill. I don't know anyone that does it, but they're not bad.
They're nothing you would go out of your way for, but like if you get assigned them, it's just a
Yeah.
bonus.
I think okay, here's my thing. I think if I had decent stats on my account and I would like maybe I got like hacked and I was like broke as fuck or something, I think I might honestly like cut ints for like a few hours.
For the logs.
Cause like it's not bad. It's like
Yeah.
it's not quite a mil an hour, but honestly it's
Is it
pretty
close?
easy. Yeah.
Really?
Because like in the wilderness you get them noted.
Yeah, you do.
Oh yeah.
And you
Yeah,
get like
that
double
was the big
logs as
change.
well.
Yeah. Double the logs and it's noted. It's actually pretty good. I don't know if having it as a Slayer task will really matter that much, but spiritual mages, pretty good. We got the Wilderness Goblins Dungeon. So AVNC's Wilderness bosses are just like on there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, same with
Ooh.
Wilderness Demi bosses. I don't think you have to unlock boss tasks or anything.
I was
They're
gonna
just
say,
on there.
Yeah, because you can already get those from boss.
Yeah, you can
Slayer.
get those from boss Slayer. I think these are just like on the task list.
Yeah.
There. But maybe it's a matter of it has to be unlocked. Maybe it's just on the task list. I don't know. I don't think I went into too much detail on that one, but so that's pretty good. Also, you'll get 25 Slayer points for each assignment.
That's a lot.
25. Isn't Durdell 10?
Durdell's
14.
15.
15. Okay. Yeah, it's like Neve's 10 before the upgrade and then 15 Durdell.
Yeah.
And then you can get 15 from the diary. All right. So 25, that's pretty big. I mean, some of these tasks are really shit to do because I mean they're out in the wilderness, let's be honest. You're gonna get PK'd. But at the same time, 25 Slayer points is not terrible depending on how large these tasks are.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
I feel like for the person who likes to go out and kill Callisto and Venenatus anyways, these tasks are really quite good because you'll just get them. You're gonna wear Varax or whatever anyways. You're probably not gonna wear the Slayer helm. You're just gonna go out there and do your task, and you're also just gonna get Slayer XP while you do it because you wanted to kill Venenatus or Callisto anyways. I know personally, as an Iron Man who hasn't done much of the wilderness bosses, like enough to, you know, I've got some kill count, but I haven't really taken the time to just grind out all the kills. This is a super interesting update for me. When I eventually decide to camp out these bosses, this is what I'm going to be doing. You know, I'm going to be doing the Wildly Slayer bosses. It's pretty cool.
I think that a good pro tip would be don't rush off and do a bunch of Slayer tasks out in the wildy on the day of release.
No,
You will get
no.
PK'd.
Oh, you're going to
Question,
get fucked
though.
up if you do that.
Do you think the accuracy bonus from Slayer Helmet being on task, do you think that'd be enough to outweigh the defensive the defense stats to make Varax probably not the best anymore?
No, I don't think
No?
so because you can already get some of these as tasks like via Boss Slayer. You still use their axe.
True. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, their defense is just so ridiculous. It's like level like 400 defense or something. Like it's redonk. Like
Well, that's
it's
kind of
up there.
unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't think the design of the Slayer bosses, or not Slayer bosses, Wilderness bosses, I should say. I don't think the design of the Wilderness bosses was that good, to be honest. I'm pretty sure. I mean, the JMods don't bring up his name, but Reach. I'm pretty sure Reach designed these.
Mod Audi.
Yeah. And we all know Reach is renowned for his amazing ability at coding things in the game. Actually, and people shit on Reach a lot. Reach was really good at coming up with concepts. He very, very good at coming up with concepts. In fact, he came up with pretty much all of Zaya, but he was
Yeah.
not able to finish it before, you know, he did the shit he did. So that's why Zaya felt really half finished, if you guys ever wondered about that. But yeah, he was very good at coming up with a lot of concepts for the game. Unfortunately, the execution was not the best. So we got things like all the diaries. If you guys ever wondered why all the diary shit's really weird, Reach came up with that and he coded it. So a lot of the diary stuff was broken for a long time because Reach. Similarly, like Vedian had a lot of bugs for a long time. Still pretty buggy.
You can tell that he had a really good
Because
attention to
Reach.
detail because there were also a shitload of typos and grammatical errors and all the dialogue for the diaries for so long.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I mean, not the best execution, but I think some of the I think a lot of the ideas were very good.
Yeah.
Had a lot of merit. Unfortunately, execution not great. So yeah. Anyways, if you question number 4 here, if the Wilderness only Slayer Masters added, will you get tier 1 emblems when you kill them on task. This is passing.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised by that. I want it, but I'm a little surprised.
I'm not really surprised now that like you can just buy tier 1s anywhere from the Grand Exchange.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
it makes sense that like you this would be able to pass. Like I can easily see that.
I mean, it's a big extra incentive to actually go do your Slayer task out in the wilderness, right?
Yeah, and it's really good for Ironman as well. It's like
Don't
now
have to
you
boost.
don't have to boost.
Yeah, you don't have to boost your rune pouch.
Yeah, you can just get it through Slayer.
I remember way back when I got my rune pouch. I did it the moral way I felt like to boost my emblems, which is I went and I killed Crazy Archaeologist on the PvP world on like the what is it 318 Bounty Hunter world. I went on the Bounty Hunter world and I killed Crazy Archaeologist until I got an emblem. It's like 1 in 50 or something like that, or it used to be.
Yeah,
it's
was
now
1
1
in
in
50.
5. It's now 1 in 5, but it used to be 1 in 50. So I killed it until I needed the RCBs anyways. So got my emblem and then I went and boosted my emblem. So like that was the way I felt was like okay to do, but I still felt like kind of like a shitbag because I was boosting emblems, but at the same time there's no other way for me to get the rune pouch, you know.
If it makes you feel better, Nigel, you are a shitbag.
Thank you, Jason.
Welcome.
I mean, it's really not that bad anymore to get it. Like even without this update going through, now that it is 1 in 5, you need I think 24 tier 1s to get a rune pouch.
Yeah, now
Yeah,
that
1 in
was
5 from
it's
Crazy
not
Art.
bad.
That's not bad at all.
No, not at all.
Couple hundred KC at most, but like he goes down quick. It's super easy to do.
Yeah, I mean you probably went to wards anyways. Yeah. It's not too bad, I don't think. I think it's I like the current changes, and I like this change too.
Yeah.
You know, it's just it's nice. It's a nice little bonus on top of your I'm gonna go kill Venanatus for 200 kills. Because I suspect it's gonna be really funny if you get like a spiders task and it's only like 30 spiders. But then again, I can imagine on the flip side of the coin, like this new Slayer Master is gonna be like, here, go kill 200 spiders.
It's got to be a lot. I don't know, because like 30 spiders with the amount of point gain you get, that's a really quick task. Considering like you don't have to do them at a boss.
Also,
yeah, that's true. I guess because of the point gain. I mean, it's gonna really all just boil down to like how
it's got to be balanced well.
Also, if you were to get, I mean, you could just get Venanatus assigned to you normally and be able to kill more than 30. You can kill 35, so that it has to have more than that, right?
True.
For it to be a normal task.
Yeah, true. I don't know what the minimum is, but
Well, for boss
All
slayer,
right.
it's anywhere between 3 and 35.
yeah, it's 35 for boss slayer is
The
the
maximum.
maximum.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be something reasonable. Like 50 or 100
Yeah,
on some of
Yeah.
these.
I trust him to make it good.
Go kill 240 dragons. Jesus.
Now I guess I have a reason to hold off on the wieldy bosses for the pets.
Yeah. Just wait until you need some Slayer points.
And then when that comes out, then I'll make up some other excuse to keep putting it off.
Wouldn't work at KBD. That's actually a good point. They could make it work at KBD.
They could make it work at KBD.
I think a lot of players might actually petition Jagex to make it work at KBD.
yeah.
Because KBD's not technically in the wilderness, but you go through the wilderness to get there.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know. We'll see what Jagex has to say about that one. That's an interesting question though, Riley. I like that question. Right. So here's another question. Question 5. If the wilderness only Slayer Master is added, should all assignments offer a chance of receiving a Slayer Staff enchantment scroll? The Enchanted Slayer Staff requires 75 magic, 55 Slayer. The Enchanted Slayer Staff would have 2,500 charges and would simultaneously deal higher damage when used, would deal substantially higher damage when used on assignment with the magic dart spell. So only works on assignment, which I think is a little lame, but yeah, the damage calculations I think are here in the dev blog, I believe.
It's got a higher max than
It's-
Trident, I'm pretty sure.
It's magic level divide 6 plus 13. So let's say you're 99 nature. We'll get the old TI 84 handy dandy. So we'll do 99 divide 6, which is 16.5. They always floor everything, so it would go down to 16. So it'd be 16 plus 13 is your max hit 29. That's not including any bonuses. So if you got like a tormented bracelet, a cult, incest, God forbid you're slaying it with ancestral and using this, but like it's not taking bonuses into account. It's gonna max it at 29. I believe a toxic trident is like 32 or maybe 31. I believe it's pretty close. You also have to remember that the trident of the seas attacks every 5 ticks instead of every 6 ticks. So trident of the seas still blows this thing out of the fucking water, but it's not bad. It's not like totally terrible, and it costs the same as current Slayer Dart, which is 1 death rune, 4 mind runes. I don't know. It's in a weird spot. I think this is going to end up getting tweaked.
I think so.
Yeah, because like, who is this good for?
Who's it not good for?
Me.
Anyone who has a trident.
Anyone who has a trident already.
Which is a lot of people.
Like they're just giving it the Ivan staff treatment, really.
It's only useful. The thing is, it's only useful on task.
Very situational.
That's the biggest restriction to me. Is it only works on task. You can't even take the fucking thing to Barrows, which is arguably where it'd be the most useful, I think. I don't know. It just strikes me as a solution in search of a problem, is what I see this as. Like, it's a cool idea, but this doesn't fill any hole we needed.
Yeah.
I think it will end up tweaked. I think Jagex is doing what they want to do. This is something Jagex does sometimes when there's like kind of like a radical idea for content or like a very new or possibly powerful idea for content. They push it in the door like in the most tame format possible, right? And then they take the stance of, okay, well, if the players really want us to buff it, we'll buff it, right? Which I think is that's a good way to get some slightly controversial content through a poll, because the reality is we have to get stuff through the polling system. And 2, it's safer, and people don't feel. I think the player base generally doesn't feel as bad when something gets buffed because it was shit versus something getting nerfed because it was way OP, right?
What about? Well, all right. So you need 55 Slayer to use the staff, to use Magic Dart, Slayer Dart, whatever.
Yeah.
There's a huge level gap between 55 and 87. It's like for an Iron Man, something that hits nearly as good as a Trident with an auto cast. Like, I don't know, it's not awful.
Of course, I mean, for lower level Iron Man Slayer, I think it matters. I think that's the one niche that this fills, but that's a very small group of players.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
I'm sure those players will appreciate it.
I feel like I've been so quiet this podcast so far. It's abnormal.
The one podcast where Rob talks a lot.
Yeah, I just don't have a lot to say yet.
It's the shirt. It's Rob's shirt. It's empowering his.
It's the shirt. I'm wearing a Skidler shirt. Maybe I'll start vaping.
To everyone. I don't think quite everyone, but it's the task restriction is what gets me on this one. The task restriction I just don't think is good. I think you should just be able to use the fucking thing wherever you please.
That's a good point.
That's how I feel about it. All right, so we'll move on from this one. Question number 6: should completing the Vorton easy, medium, hard diary provide 2.5, 5.0, and 7.5% additional Slayer XP, respectively, within the Slayer Tower? Currently, how it works is the Elite Diary provides 10%, and you get fuck all from every other diary step. So another one of those like, hey, get the Elite Diary sort of things. What do you guys think of this change?
I think it's kind of a no-brainer. Make it a linear advancement for each tier of the diaries, and give them a bit more value.
The non-linearness of some diaries just bothers me so much. Like, for instance, the Artie diary is like, all right, here's one teleport to the farm patch. Here's one teleport to the farm patch. Hey, here's infinite teleports to the farm patch. Like, why? Why does it do that? And some, it used to be some diaries had infinite teleports. Some still had like 3 daily or whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I'm so glad they finally fixed that stuff. This just strikes me as along like the same lines.
Yeah,
right?
Good. Why not?
Just smooth it out, make it make
should have been the way it was a while ago.
Yeah. I'm okay with this change.
Yep.
Give the noobs something. The noobs need shit too, right? All right. So question 7: should superior Slayer encounters have a chance of dropping a tradable? That's the one I kind of raised my eyebrow at. Eternal Slayer gem. This gem could be used to craft an Eternal Slayer ring, which has unlimited charges. The crafting the ring would require 75 crafting, and already have the unlock.
Yeah, I actually kind of breezed over the fact that it was going to be tradable when I voted in this. I mean, that doesn't really change my stance on it. I still think it's cool. I'm glad that when it was first talked about having an infinite Slayer ring, I was kind of skeptical. But then the fact that it's coming from superiors, I guess I like that. I didn't really quite realize that it was. I didn't really quite register that it was tradable. But I don't know. I feel like it's not a big deal. Like it's like the Eternal Glory, right?
Do we feel like Superior Slayer? Like, do you guys feel like it needed something else?
Kinda. I've done 40 superiors. I've gotten literally nothing from them.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I've done like 50 something superiors. I've got fuck all, right? Technically, the imbued heart over a very long span of time, doing a lot of Slayer, makes Slayer really good. But it's one of those items is like, it's quite rare. If you don't get it, you're kind of, it's kind of one of those, it's like raids, right?
Yeah.
You can do a lot of raids. And pretty much up until your team gets a good split or you get a good item in a free-for-all, you're getting fuck all, right? Like, you're not really doing so hot until you get something. I kind of feel like, other than the Slayer XP, because the XP from Superior Slayer is so good, you're not really getting a lot usually, unless you get that big drop.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think maybe it's kind of nice that there's kind of like a lesser tier drop that it's still gonna be worth something for Superior Slayer.
It's just convenient. Like Slayer rings are already kind of a convenient item because when you run out of charges on one, you still keep one of the components that it takes to make it again, so you can just keep making more. So it's not like it's hard to keep making more, but it's kind of annoying having to, because you run through them faster than you'd think usually. So I think it's a good item, and I do like the source of it. I think it's a good thing.
Oh yeah, fun little tidbit on the running out of Slayer ring charges thing.
Mm.
I think originally when I unlocked Slayer rings way back when on my Iron Man, I think I sat down and made like 200 rings or something. I am only just now running out of them.
Really?
Yeah. Which is, I don't know if it's the fact that I just don't use that many Slayer rings anymore. I used to use them very heavily to access fairy rings. That's what I used to use them for.
Huh.
I still use them all the time.
Yeah, I still do.
Yeah, I just don't end up using them that much anymore. I guess it's because I use Duradel. And I have like the Elite Diary and everything unlocked. I don't know. I just don't use them.
Duradel, and I still use them a fuckload.
I find myself like never using them. I don't know why. I think like the only reason I use them is I don't even use them to access Tarn's lair, because it's, if you're doing that clue step, it's faster to do it from Bergdarot. Right. Like, I think I pretty much only use them if I want to go to the stronghold. But even then, like, you've got the gnome seed pod thing, and like that's right there, and I don't have to make the stupid things. I don't know. I just never made. I've never really needed them very much anymore.
Still,
pretty much, I think I only use them for clues.
It'll still be a nice thing to have, though, if you were to get it as a drop.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I definitely wanted this update in the game.
Yeah.
I just kind of thought it was funny how I went from using tons and tons of the stupid things to I rarely use them anymore. I guess it's because I use Duradel. That's probably why.
Yeah.
I don't want to derail this, but I feel I need to speak about this. I just had the weirdest thing happen to me in game.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
So I'm killing sand crabs on my hardcore. Just training up some range while we're doing the podcast. I go to reset the aggro, as you do, like every 10 minutes or so. And I was gone like literally 2 seconds, and someone like took my spot, which I was like, what the fuck? And so I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to sit here and make the guy hop. So I'm just sitting here. I'm killing him. He's like, hey, you don't need these. Leave. He tells me to leave. I'm like, no. I was here first. I've been here for like an hour, man. You can go. He's like, no, you don't need them. And he's like, oh, you're an Iron Man. Sorry, bro. I respect Iron Mans. And then he left. And that is the first time I have ever been told someone respected me for being an Iron Man. And it's kind of blowing my
Instead
mind.
of just talking total shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny that it's funny that he respects Iron Man, but everybody else he's like, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck them.
Fuck
Except for Iron Man. You
95%
guys
of the
are all
player
right.
base.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
That actually that happened to me pretty recently. I was hunting black chins. This has happened to me a few times at black chins. I was hunting black chins. Guy starts PKing me or is about to PK me, right? And he asks real iron ? Or like, are you an Iron Man or whatever, because I've got iron in my name. And I of course say yes, and then he just went like, sick account, dude. And he's like, I won't kill you, and then he hopped.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Good guy,
And that's
PK.
happened more than once in the wilderness, surprisingly. I never ask for people like, oh, if I'm iron. Like I've heard
Yeah.
that before.
That's silly.
But it happens like a surprising amount. It's really bizarre.
Nigel, have
You're
you?
like,
I have one. Okay, so actually, while we've been podcasting, somebody came in the catacombs and said nice vids, and that reminded me. I've actually been doing like a boss or something. I think it may have been Fnatic, and had
Mhm.
somebody recognize me and then say, "You can have my world," and then hop for me.
oh wow.
Yeah,
That's cool as hell. Stream of favoritism.
that's the kind of thing that turns you into an arrogant smork. That you gotta be careful.
Yeah.
That's a slippery slope.
No, like one of the coolest things on the topic is streamer favoritism. One of the coolest things for me is like I can go almost anywhere in the game, it seems like, and somebody will come up to me and say, "Hey, love your vids," or like, "Hey, love your stream, keep it up."
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like I start to think about it, and I'm like, I think to myself, I'm like, I don't, like my YouTube channel isn't that big. I have like, like 3K followers or whatever. Which I don't know what that means
that's
for
enough,
RS,
though,
but like it's people recognize you, and it's the weirdest feeling, it's super cool. It's super
The
cool.
last time I got recognized in game, I was at Castle Wars, and a guy just out of nowhere says, "Shit, streamer," teleports. Wonderful, best feeling, man.
Good.
Sick.
Those are the moments you live for.
Yeah,
I
why
think
do it.
somebody did that to Luro the other day. Luro
Really?
games. They're like, "Hey, I see Luro in the bank. I'm gonna go tell him he has a shit streak."
I think I've said on my stream before that like getting recognized in game is cool. I think that for a very long term, like it's not even a goal. It's just something I hope happens at some point. I want to know what it feels like to be recognized in the real world just once. I think that would be super cool.
Oh yeah,
They
that might
on
be
the
really bizarre.
on the most recent AOA Gold podcast, one of the questions that they had was, what was the coolest experience you've had, like being recognized in public or meeting a fan at a convention or whatever? And I think that would be super awesome to just be out in the world and have somebody recognize you for your stream.
Yeah, I think there's some chance going to TwitchCon or something, like we might actually see someone who knows who we are at like TwitchCon.
yeah,
that we
but I
haven't met.
don't mean at a convention. I mean just by coincidence.
Oh,
in
just
public.
like out and about.
Because that happens, Mr. Mammal's been recognized on an airplane before. Skidler's been recognized out on the town. Like that would be really cool. At a convention,
that
people
would be
recognize me
pretty
at RuneFest, like a couple people, but that's to be expected. We're part of the
Yeah,
community
yeah.
already. I just mean like just randomly. Actually, okay, so I actually have a funny story. I think I told you guys because he hangs out in my Discord now sometimes. Alex. This
Yeah.
is just for the stream and for the YouTube viewers. This is a like the biggest coincidence for me that's ever happened to me on Twitch is I watch a streamer named Rigondow. We had him on last week. Wonderful guy. I love his streams. And I was just hanging out in his stream the other day, and he really likes my vlogs. And he notices that I go to Dunkin' Donuts all the time, right? Because it's in my vlogs. And he was like, "So how often do you go there?" And I told him. And he's like, "Oh, how much does it usually cost for the coffee you get?" And I said, "Oh, it's about $2.50." And somebody else in the chat said, "Oh, it's about $2.75." And I was like, we must have different prices or whatever. And he said, "Yeah, we get boned by taxes in Maine." And I was like, "Oh, that's kind of weird. We're both in Maine. Why are our prices different?" And he's like, "Oh, city prices, I guess." And I was like, "Yeah, it's cool." Left the stream for the afternoon, did my own thing, didn't think anything else of it. And then I think it was after my birthday. I had some kind of crazy night already. Something happened. Oh no, I got the Dagonoth Prime pet, right? So I already had a crazy fucking evening. I'm recovering. I go back to Rig's stream, and I'm lurking, and I get a whisper from the same guy who I happen to talk about coffee with, and he said, "Hey, I don't know if you remember me. My name is Alex. We went to tennis camp together in middle school." And I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" The guy who happened to be from Maine, who happened to type in the chat talking about coffee with me, I've known him for like 12 years. and he
that's
works
nuts.
he works like 20 minutes away from me, and at some point we're gonna get drinks. That it was just like the craziest coincidence. Like we just happened to meet through Rig's stream or like reconnect through Rig's stream. It's the weirdest.
Yeah,
thing.
that's happened to me as well. Not quite the same instance, but I was just like streaming RS. And one of my friends from high school that I haven't talked with in like years, it popped up on stream and he's like, "Hey man, what's going on?" I'm like, "Who the fuck are you?" And then they whispered. I was like, "Just you obviously know me. Whisper me your name." And he told me his name, and I was like, "Dude, I haven't talked to you in forever. What's going on?"
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
And I forgot to mention the reason Alex knew it was me is because Rig had mentioned my vlog, so he looked it up, and then he was like, "Oh my god, I know that guy."
I know that guy.
Yeah.
The wildest part about that is the fact that you went to tennis camp.
Yes.
I mean,
The tennis camp.
it was just something to do in the summers when
You're
I was in
gonna
middle
have to tell
school.
us a tennis camp story. What happened at tennis camp?
What happens at tennis camp stays at tennis camp, Nigel. You should know this.
Because
I don't
Who
remember. I
doesn't
don't
know?
have
Because
the,
though
the
I've
thing
been to
is,
tennis camp.
back in middle school, like we met at tennis camp, became friends, and we bonded over RuneScape. Like somehow the fact that we played RuneScape then came up at tennis camp because we were just such massive nerds.
Yeah, so you guys are huge nerds.
Oh yeah, always have been, always will be. But no, it was pretty cool. I actually enjoyed tennis camp. Like it's not something I ever wanted to like play all the time or like on the school team or whatever. Actually, I fucking hated doubles, so I didn't want to do doubles ever. But I actually wasn't bad at it, and I think I did the 2 years of that camp, and I won an award or some shit. I actually did win an award for that year at camp.
Winning awards at tennis camp.
Yeah, just fucking white people things.
Jesus. I don't want to say it, but
It was just something to do in the summer. I went with one of my best friends, and it was all right.
nah. Actually, I mean, it sounds like a good time. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I used to I used to be in Boy Scouts, and so a lot of times during the summer, I would just go, to summer camps, hang out,
Yep.
learn cool shit. Like that's where I learned. That's where I learned and picked up electronics and soldering and stuff like that, which got me interested in doing that at school, which got me interested eventually in computer stuff. So
Yvette's
pretty cool.
comment
That's how I
making me
ended up in computer science, actually, for my degree path. It was because of
laugh.
summer camps, man.
Yvette misheard me and thought I said that I did 2 years and then I went to war. Tennis camp war.
Oh my gosh, man! Your tennis camp was probably a little bit more brutal than than my camps.
Yeah, if I went to war, I don't know.
Rough. All right. So yeah, RuneScape.
Yeah, we went way off. All
That's
right.
the thing that we talk about here, right?
Sometimes.
Right. So we covered the Eternal Slayer gem. We think it's good, right?
Mhm.
I'm not necessarily super excited about the fact that it's tradable, but it's nice, I guess, for those of you who trade, you filthy mains.
I like to trade. Mostly I like to use the GE.
Yeah. Convenience. What if we gave the GE the News Cave treatment?
Like, moved it into multiple locations.
No. Okay, like think about it. Instead of like one centralized like grand exchange that you go through to buy stuff, right? There's like different grand exchanges for different types of items scattered around the edges of the grand exchange, right? So kind of like on RS3, they've got like the multiple little sections of the grand exchange around the outside of the thing, right? But at like one location, you can only buy like potions and secondaries. And
So, okay, I have a
like,
question.
bones.
Do you guys remember back when they split the GE in pre-EOC into 4 different places, right? But it's still in the same location. What was the reason for that?
Aesthetic.
Don't know.
Was it because like lag because everybody was staying in the same spot? Because like I always struggled to understand why they would split it up
No.
but have it in the same place.
I'm pretty sure it was aesthetic.
Really? I
Yeah,
thought it
it's
was-
just an aesthetic.
I always
It's
thought
like
it was
even
so
on
dumb.
RS3, like with it split up, people usually just go to like the first 2 as you walk into the GE. Like the backside is usually pretty barren of people, so you have a large cluster of people standing there.
The fuck! I just had a second
So
person
makes sense
recognize me in the
for lag
catacombs.
reduction, easier loading. That's possible.
I mean, it could be.
All the people centered in the center of the Grand Exchange with all the new graphical updates and everything. It's possible that that's actually the reason. It's performance.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. I didn't know why else it would be.
It makes sense instead of having everyone crammed in the middle of a freaking exchange.
Yeah.
Move them
Alright.
out to the edges. It's actually a good point. Yeah, it probably was for performance reasons. Now I think about that. That makes the most sense out of anything anyone said, I think.
Yeah.
Hi, Ben.
Yeah, Shane's here. He's visiting me. He just got in today. You want to see the top of Shane's face? There it is.
It's like the side of Shane's face.
Y'all got any more
Just
of that
creeping
Shane?
into the frame. Shane's side.
I'm just
might
very
tip.
short. And
The
I'm
chair
also
he's using
wearing
does not
headphones.
adjust at all, so
Yeah. If I wasn't wearing the headphones, I could probably move more into frame, but
yeah.
it's all right.
We should start asking
Hard
for
to
Shane's
keep up.
input instead of Chase's input.
If it's PvP related, definitely.
Or pure.
Yeah.
related.
Well, actually, I forgot to mention. There is something PvP related. Deadman mode. I know he doesn't play Deadman mode, but in Deadman mode, we actually forgot to mention the Wilderness Slayer Master is going to provide a way to get bounty hunter emblems. It's going to work in Deadman mode. You can get bounty hunter emblems that way.
Oh right.
Kind of a big change.
What bonus does it? Well, how do untradables work in Deadman? Do they convert to coins?
Fuck if I know.
I don't know actually.
Yeah, what happens is
The
when
rune
you
pouch is
die.
always lost in PvP death.
What happens is if you die with the rune pouch, you go back to playing the main game.
Yeah, pretty much. If you manage to get a rune pouch on Deadman mode and you fucking die with it, like time to just quit the season.
Are you sure it's always lost on PvP death?
It's
Yes.
it's highlighted in white if you check it.
Yeah, it's highlighted in white.
So yeah.
I thought it was only lost if you were over our like
The
level
white-
20 wielding.
The white outline in the death window signifies always lost on death, but it's not always lost on death in regular deaths because it's an untradeable. But
Yeah, in
the PvP,
PvE
you always
situations,
lose
it's
it.
kept because it's untradeable. In every PvP situation you could get into, it will be lost.
so there would
if
be
you
no
just
reason to
take
buy
it into the
that.
wilderness with you while you're doing a clue and you die, it's fucking gone. It's like a looting bag. Looting bag's the same way.
That's a good
Okay.
point that Ben has actually. You can store up points as a way to rebuild if you were to die.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's true.
You just snag some rune items out of the point store.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's smart.
That would be crazy.
I'm sorry, I pronounced his name wrong.
Because
It's
there's
Little Nice
there's a
Bun.
lot of items that are pretty cheap.
Little
Like you
nice.
can buy rune armor for fairly cheap. You can buy Nata's not helms, I think even.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like MSBs, I think you can buy.
While we're off topic,
Can you
side
buy
note
runes?
again. Did you guys see the clip of Ben that he clipped from Tony's stream?
Oh yeah,
Oh my
little nice
God.
bun.
Little nice bun and I'm a dumb shit. I can't believe he just. It hurts.
I can.
It
I
hurts.
can definitely believe that.
Dude, he's senile. He must be. He's
I
like
don't
denying
know about
saying
Sinel,
things.
but he's definitely fucking goofy, man. He's goofy for sure.
He got stuck on repeat, dude. Somebody had to hit him.
Little nice buns.
And I'm a dumb shit, and I believe anything anybody tells me. The worst part of that is that he
It's
can't
though.
pronounce the easiest name in the English language. He mispronounced Ben.
Yeah. Tony is better than all you streamers. Yes, he's the best. He's better than Bodhi. Better than all of us.
It's not
true.
my fault. I can't help being a weak ass punk motherfucker. Sorry.
Yeah. You're a weak ass punk motherfucker. All right. So let's go on to question number 8 then. Should when you reach a task milestone of all these questions are just related to task milestones, and they're all passing. So we
Good,
get a
good,
better
good.
multiplier. We get a 25% multiplier at 100 tasks, 35 at 250, and 50 at 1,000.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
I like it.
Yeah. Basically, this equates to your average points per task moves up to like 24, from like 24 or something like that up to like 26
Yeah.
with Duradel or Neve Diary. So basically, it is making Slayer slightly easier in the sense that like you get more skips, but
Yeah.
it's not a drastic change, I don't think.
Does it work
No.
with 200th? Yes.
as well. That is a 100th task, so yes, it would work.
Yeah, it would count as 100. And then you do another 50 and it would count as 250.
Yeah, so you're gonna get buku points.
Pretty sweet.
I think I think this is gonna result in like quite a bit more.
I had somebody who was in my chat who was upset about it the other day because I thought it was like making it more easy escape. And he was like, "Yeah, it's easier to make." I was just like, "Yeah, but it's It's only easier for.
It kind of is though, but
yeah,
like
but it's like you can only buy limited
like,
things with the points, so it's not that big a deal.
Yeah, it's just that there's so much shit to buy now.
Yeah,
it feels like
that's true.
Yeah,
with
there's a
the
lot of
Slayer
stuff
helm
to unlock.
recolors cost 1,000. You know,
And there's
like,
going to be another one. Obviously, we're going to need
Yeah.
another
yeah,
1,000
there's
for
gonna
this
be
Katizo helm.
another Slayer helm. I feel like it means that maybe they'll be more incentivized to like put more stuff that you can buy from the Slayer Masters. Maybe is the intended change. Because I mean, if any, the end game situation of this is you get more skips and Slayer's slightly more efficient. Slayer's already like, if you're being efficient, right? You're being efficient. Slayer's already pushing like 80 plus K an hour right now, which is pretty bonkers. And the skips mean you can maintain that rate easier.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is kind of easy escape, but I think that's on the extreme end of the spectrum. I think how this plays out for most players is that you just get to buy the shit you want and you get to skip more tasks.
Yeah,
basically.
the skipping of the task doesn't bother me because that comes down to point management too. Like you need to always have points to skip with if you want to be efficient at Slayer. The people who are good at maintaining points for that purpose will keep doing that.
Yeah, and anybody who slays, past 99 has a pretty good grip on what tasks they need to skip, what tasks they shouldn't, right? And they will always net positive points. It's just anyone who slays for any period of time, I think, figures that out.
Yeah.
So I agree. It's kind of like not a big change in that respect. Maybe there's more tasks you'll put on the like. Sometimes I'll skip this list, or maybe it lets you skip like maybe one more thing. I don't know. I just think it makes it a little bit easier, but not in like an extreme way. I don't think it's game ruining. Anyways, so somebody asked, one of the few questions I actually failed this poll: should the Tsar Slayer task be available from Sheldar and also from Vanaka? So those both are failing the poll.
Yeah.
Who does that hurt?
No one.
It means you can get a Jad task way earlier on in your account.
Yeah, so it helps peers.
Yeah, it helps. It helps peers. It helps.
It
helps low-level irons.
Like if you can kill Jad at like 40 combat, fucking you deserve the cape.
Yeah.
Like I
don't know. I think I voted abstain to these questions because I didn't really care. I don't use these Slayer Masters.
I voted yes because I think it's a why not type of question.
Yeah. There's no reason not for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of gotta agree with you here, Rob. Is this another one of those situations where like players didn't really think it out and they're just fucking over peers?
Especially
they don't play peers.
Considering they are an unlocked task, you have to spend points.
Yeah, you have to pay to unlock.
Those Slayer Masters give 4 points per fucking task. It's garbage. That's just gonna take you a year.
Yeah, it's gonna take you a long time as a peer to unlock that. Yeah, no, I'm actually way more inclined to agree with you on this one, Rob. Which is I think players are making the wrong choice here. Initially, I was just kind of like, this doesn't really matter. But yeah, coming from that mindset of like peers, they're kind of getting dicked by this. I don't know how badly peers want Jad tasks, but they seem like probably the biggest people that are getting screwed here. Yeah. Which is usual. I think peers are used to it. Maybe that's why they hate us so much.
They chose to limit themselves. Fuck them.
All right, so that's not passing. Sad day for peers. So question 13, should the dogs within the Brimhaven dungeon be removed except for those in the dedicated area for dogs? I was not aware that there was a dedicated area for dogs in the Brimhaven dungeon, but apparently there was.
This is just a convenience thing. Why not?
Okay, fun question time. When was the last time you were in the Brimhaven dungeon? For the
like
Brimhaven Slave dungeon.
When was George W. Bush in office again? It's been a while.
Been a bit.
I've been down there once.
For me, I got a Bronze Dragon Slayer task from, I think, Sheldar or someone before. I think it was Sheldar because Neve doesn't assign them. I got Bronze Dragons. Yeah. Didn't have points for a skip. It was like, it was a very small number of them. So I was like, all right, I'm not skipping. That was the last time I went there, I think.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Also, going back to the Jad thing, somebody pointed out that means a lower level player has a higher chance of the Jad Pet since they're going to be on task. But again, I say that why not? I don't see that as a problem.
Yeah, it's kind of like a why not. Like if you can successfully
Pets-
kill Jad,
Pets have no inherent value, so it's not a bad
Yeah.
thing.
you're not devaluing anything.
No.
Oh, you devalued my pet. It's like
You
it's
value
it's
the
cosmetic.
Jad Pet that I
It has
got
no value.
on my max main. Fuck you.
Pets inherently have no value.
Yeah.
They're
I mean, if
untradeable cosmetics.
anything, being a higher level with like max gear, being able to bust out like 20-minute fucking fire cape runs, that would devalue it more than a pure.
Yeah, honestly, that's to me that's less impressive than a pure that's managed to get a Jad Pet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because pure fire capes kind of suck unless you have like a really high range level.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we spent enough time on that. Sorry to make us go
Yeah.
back.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean those dogs are annoying, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Get them out of there.
Yeah.
I think this actually I don't know. The website is weird with how it displays the polling results. Is when you guys near a poll booth in game.
No.
I've got all of them pulled up. Do you need the rest of the questions?
No. I need the results for question 13 because they're skewed on the website. On the
It
website,
looks
it doesn't
like-
display the results properly.
It only got 70% on the
Yeah.
website.
Yeah, it's what it looks like on the website, but I'm not sure.
11% of
that's how
people
it shows up in game.
abstained, so
A lot of people abstained from this question. 78.8%. Yeah. See, that's why looking at it on the website is like totally wrong if people
Yeah.
are abstaining.
okay, yeah. 17.8%.
yeah, 'cause
that sounds
it-
right.
It makes it weird. Yeah. So this is passing in game.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, Sheldar, the Sheldar question's passing.
What is it?
Yeah, Vanaka is not.
Oh.
Shit.
Yeah, the abstain rates fuck things up.
Yeah, abstain rates like totally screw the polling system. Like I said, I abstained on these questions. We had like 5,000 people abstain on question 11 and 12.
Yeah,
So yeah, it makes I don't know why the website does this,
me either.
but it screws up the ratio because it includes abstain in the percentage of people voting, which if you abstain from the question, you shouldn't be counted towards the total, right? For some reason it does that.
yeah.
So we have definitely something we have to watch out for. Those results are inaccurate. So yeah, the Chandler's passing, but Vanaka's not. So I guess they felt like Vanaka's a little too low level to be rewarded with Jet tasks.
It's like a consolation
guess.
prize. I mean, there's a 30 level difference between Vanaka and Sheldar. You still have to be level 70. Which, I mean, is definitely doable for
Guess your Mauler ain't killing Jet anytime soon.
not on task anyway.
No. All right. So yeah, let's move on down here. Should the Grand Exchange teleport take you closer to the middle of the Grand Exchange? This will ensure players are placed in a safe area on PvP worlds.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, just, fuck it, why not?
Don't really
Another
care
why
about
not
the.
Surprised
question.
people didn't vote no, and just because fuck PvP areas.
Well, it's because it's convenient for people who don't play PvP worlds anyway. If you teleport to the Grand Exchange, you're closer to
It's
it.
it's convenient for basically everyone except for Iron Man.
Yeah.
I kind of looked at this change and I was just kind of like, well, I kind of like it being on the outside of it because it's slightly closer for me buying my battle stabs if I forget to swap my teleport to the
Yeah.
middle of Varrock.
Don't forget, loser.
But you can change it?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
What?
you can right click the
How-
Varrock.
How did you not know this?
What?
Yeah, right.
You can change
right-click
it
the
on your
teleport.
house portal too. Like, how do you not
Yeah, you can
see
change it
that
on
option?
your POH with configure.
I didn't know that.
You can configure the
I was
portal.
thinking like the fucking the Ring of Wealth teleport.
No.
Yeah, it's a diary.
Any
to
of the
get
diary
ultimate teleport.
teleports are toggleable. Right click on the teleport on your
I
spellbook.
didn't know it was a teleport from a diary. I didn't know it existed outside of that fucking ring.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's the same thing with Sears. Once you unlock the Sears
Yeah, I know
bank teleport.
Sears exists. I use it.
Yeah, no, they're just right-click teleport options.
I've never looked, I guess, or paid attention.
Good job, bro.
Sure.
Easy. If it's easy bank port, it devalues the crafting cape. Potentially, I don't think they're gonna put it that close to a Kugi. I don't know. I'd be surprised if they put it right fucking next to the bank, but it's possible.
I
If they put it
mean,
right next to the bank,
no. Anything that takes runes and takes up inventory space, I wouldn't say devalues the crafting cape.
yeah, because the crafting cape you can just wear it,
Yeah.
which is like the big benefit. But then again, we've already got something that already kind of devalues the crafting cape is the Karen teleport thing, right? The amulet. Once you get the Xerix Honor Telly, that's like the distance of a Castle Wars Telly, and it's reusable like as much as you want basically.
Yeah,
Those
1,000
lizard men
charges.
things are
Annually.
not hard to come by. I don't know. I feel like I'm not really concerned about that part of it. So question 15, should mummies within Pyramid Plunder be aggressive to the player who caused them to appear? This is one of those questions. It's like, yeah,
Only
Jagex, like
be
what?
aggressive to them. That's how it
Yeah,
should have been to
only be
begin with.
aggressive to the person who made them spawn.
Efficient runs of Pyramid Plunder don't involve releasing the mummies to begin with. So if
Yeah,
you get hit by one,
this is kinda
somebody's
one of those
doing it
things, like-
wrong and inconveniencing you.
Yeah, this is one of those things. Is like, why would it not just work this way anyways, Jagex? Come on. I don't know.
So fucking definitely.
I'm glad
yes.
it's passing.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
This
reason
is
for
one
it
of
not
those
to.
things, like, why is it already not like this? So thank you for not voting no, community. 16, should we increase the character limit of messages sent from friends chat from 80 to 150?
Sure. Yeah.
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 I mean, they already increased the message limit a while back in old school because back in the day
Yeah.
it couldn't go beyond like the width of the chat box area.
Yeah, whatever fit in the chat box.
So now
is
they're
what
making it
was
even
said.
better. Yeah, of course. Good thing.
All right, so question number 17, should 2 of the 3 Cyclops areas found within the Catacombs of Koran be replaced with blood velds? Yeah. There's like a lot of people that abstained from this question, actually. 6,000 people abstained. It's a lot.
I don't really care about that.
I don't
guess it's a good
know.
thing.
The blood velds
Does
are actually pretty packed in the Catacombs,
Yeah.
surprisingly.
Does anyone go there to kill hill giants though? I feel like no.
What, Cyclops?
Mm,
Oh, Cyclops. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
yeah, the
it's-
blood
it's a good
velds are really
change.
bad.
Why?
It's a good change. It
Why do
makes
they
it so
exist
that,
there?
I don't know.
You can't get them as a Slayer task. I don't think.
You can't get them in the Slayer test. They just have nice drops. Like their drop table is actually pretty generous.
Yeah.
I guess.
I don't know anyone who
I
goes there to kill
don't
them though. No, I don't
No.
think that anyone does. Hardcore is due for early prayer. Fair enough. I think you're talking more about Hill Giants Kuki than Cyclopses. I don't know if Cyclopses drop the Hill Giant key things for Obor.
No,
No.
they're not hill
Okay, so
giants.
just Hill Giants. GG then. Right, so this just I think this mostly just benefits the rest of the game. There's no reason that we should have all those Cyclopses there, you know?
The next question's actually about replacing hill giants in the catacombs with Abbey demons. So just two
Yes.
good changes.
That's what I was thinking.
They're just filler creatures.
yeah,
Yeah,
there's no
they're
need for them to
creatures
be
there for flavor.
Speaking of hill giants, did you guys? I don't know if you guys knew, but I made an intro for Mr. Mammal when he started doing his hardcore as well. And in the intro, I made him die to the hill giant boss.
You dead over. Sick. I don't know. Yeah, these monsters just kind of strike me as like we put them in the catacombs because I don't know. We thought it'd be cool to
I
have
guess
more
I
of
didn't
them.
want empty hallways or something.
We were
Two
taking a trip
values,
to
my hill
Flavor
giant
Town.
over here.
Flavor Town is where we went. Yeah, it just makes more sense to put something functional there, you know,
Yeah, something worth
rather
killing.
than something that looks nice.
Yep.
All right, so question 19.
These next two questions are fun.
Should Skatizo have a chance of dropping an item that you can take to a Slayer Master to recolor your Slayer helm?
Yes.
I do like that. I like that one.
Yes.
Through and through. Yeah, definitely.
The community's talked about it for a while. I think everyone likes this one, or at least most people. It really, not too many no votes or abstains. Here's the one that's a little more controversial, and surprisingly, the community tells Chase to get fucked.
Yeah, 90%
Because, like, not
passing.
even that
or
many
something
people voted
stupid.
no.
Dude, it passed by so
Um,
much.
Should Skatizo have a rare chance of dropping a pet?
Doesn't matter what I think. Community said
Yeah,
yes.
get
No,
fucked,
it doesn't.
Chase. See you later, buddy.
Honestly,
Remember that guy that you went off in?
yes,
in your
I
chat?
do remember vividly. That was a good stream.
Oh,
Good time.
he's laughing. He's laughing at you, Chase.
I don't care.
Vindicated.
He's probably laughing at, I don't know, kids shows. He's not very smart.
I voted yes. Fuck Casey.
I voted yes too, but I mean, half of that was because it was already passing by a shitload. Like my vote was not going to stop it. And given Kieran's tweet, I was like, yeah, it's going to be 1 out of 100 probably. It's pretty reasonable.
Yes, that's what made me more inclined to say, okay, this is reasonable. Because Karen actually, the Jagex decided to think about the drop rate this time when they
Yeah.
put a pet in the game. The last 2 pets they put in the game, they really did not consider drop rate at all.
You want the Bloodhound? Fuck you. You want the Omelet?
Bloodhound
Fuck
and
you.
Olm. Do you remember Olm before they buffed the drop rate?
Yeah, nobody got it for the first couple
content was
weeks.
out for like a fucking month, and like 8 of them were in the game or
Yeah.
something. Like, it was ridiculous.
Yep.
Absolutely. Honestly, Jagex has dropped the ball really hard with Bloodhound and Olm.
Yep.
Thankfully they changed the Omelet drop rate like fairly early on into
super
it.
hard to get, but yeah.
Yeah, it's still very hard to get, but now it's like kind of reasonable. Bloodhound is still like retarded. Like you could take all the other pets minus Olm, stack them up, and say, all right, which one do you want? These or the Bloodhound?
Yeah.
Is basically what you can do. Right? Like Casey's the only one anywhere near the Bloodhound. So in terms of drop rate. Skatizo, if they were to give Skatizo that same treatment, I can understand why a lot of players would be really pissed if it was another just like 2,000, 3,000 hour pet. That would just be ridiculous. The fact that they say 1 in 100 is about what they're thinking, much more reasonable, much more within the realm of possibility, I feel like.
Jesus Christ. Casey's done 1,000 master clues.
Yeah, he recently finished 1,000 master clues.
I haven't done one.
I've done like 60.
Fucking insane.
I've only done a few just because the only time I ever really end up doing master clues is when I get an elite step I can't do. And there's like 1 or 2. Like I think it's a Bob shirt. I don't have a Bob shirt. So every time I get the Bob shirt step, I'm like, all right, master clue. Let's go do that. So I've done like 6. I don't know, I kind of want to just get like the heavy casket and then I'll start doing them. 100 makes about 100 hour pets. Yeah, maybe. That's like on par with
Wait a minute. You say 100-hour pet for the Skatizo?
Yeah.
Well, that's just not
if it was
true.
100. How many totems do you get an hour?
Not one.
Bursting pretty quickly. You can
I would say bursting dust devils, I can imagine you get maybe 1 an hour.
Yeah, but no, you don't.
It also depends on your task.
You have to be very lucky to get 1 an hour.
1 in 100 means if you get 100 kill count, you're still only like 60% to get the bet.
Yeah.
And then if you get 200 kill count, you're only like 80%.
The totem's RNG. You're never guaranteed to get 1 per hour. You probably won't get 1 per hour unless you're very lucky. Even barraging. Like I do Dust Devil tasks in the catacombs. I barrage them. I very rarely get 1 piece during a task.
Yeah, I think if you're dedicated, just going for not even on task, just going into the catacombs and just trying to get totem pieces, I can see you getting 1 an hour. I can see you completing 1 totem an hour. You're gonna be pissing away runes though.
Yeah, it's gonna cost you a shitload, and even then you're
straight down the drain.
I doubt you'll average 1 per hour. I think you might have a couple lucky hours, but you're gonna average less than 1 per hour, and you could get shards instead.
And it's true. They're on the same table. But again, that's great for the Zami pet hunt. You need those shards.
Yeah, my Arclight has like 6 or 7k charges right now.
I should do a Zami pet hunt.
Oh wait, on the hardcore Iron Man.
I'm going to. Sam is going to be the first God Wars boss I do.
Oh my god, I can't wait to see you get dropped and lose your hardcore stats.
Dude, I know. I'm going to get spec'd like 5 times in a row. I'm going to be gone.
I mean,
lovely.
You almost died to a fire giant already.
I nearly died to a hellhound fucking like 2 days ago. I was watching Bodhi's stream at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and like he just starts chewing on his fucking water bottle. And it was the most bizarre thing. I'm just sitting there staring at the screen, and I look back over, and I'm on 7 HP. And like my butthole clenched so hard. I was so scared. I nearly died.
That's why I don't think Rob's gonna last very long on a hardcore.
I don't think he's gonna get to Zami.
I'm surprised he's still around, frankly.
We gotta take bets.
I am too.
Gotta take bets.
The over-under on his total level. Be like, do you think Rob will get 2k total?
No, I don't.
No, I don't. I think he's gonna die before he hits 87 Slayer.
Probably.
Before he even makes it to Zulrah. Like, I think Zulrah is one of like the big Iron Man killers.
Yeah.
Hardcore Iron Man killers.
Yeah, Zulrah and Demonics.
Alrighty, so yeah, we've covered the pet. We're kind of I was kind of more on inclined on the side of like there should be a pet, but the drop rate needs to be reasonable.
Yeah,
And thankfully that's kind of happened. I think that's the middle ground approach, right?
I'm still very
There's
torn
like
about it. But
we
yeah.
want a pet and we don't care what the drop rate is, and then there's like no pet, right? That's like the two extremes. I think the reasonable middle ground is okay. Well, there's going to be a pet, but it's going to be like not ridiculous to get.
It's still going to take a long time.
It's a compromise. It makes both parties happy, right? It's
Reasonably.
another pet. Look happy, Chase. You have another pet in your collection.
I'm very torn about it. It's gonna be fun. Like when that comes out and I get to go and do a stream using all the totems I've saved up, that's gonna be fucking hype. But if I don't get it,
cool.
it's gonna be painful to keep going for it. You know.
If the pet looks exactly like the Skatizo model, it will by far be my favorite pet in the game.
Yeah, me too.
Skatizo's model.
That's a good point. They
I
better
think
not
that's the
fucking
main
change
reason
it for
this
the
question
pet.
is passed.
Yeah. If
Just
they
'cause,
change
like,
it, that's a
Skatizo has
mistake.
Such a dope model.
Yeah. It'll definitely be the same.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be slightly less detailed, maybe because like a lot of the
'cause
pet
polys.
models are less detailed because
They shrink it
fewer
down.
polys,
Yeah.
but it still should look pretty awesome.
You
All
better
the
ask if I'm
demi-bosses
gonna
except
do
for Arc drop a pet.
what?
I would love a little crazy Arc following you and just shouts like the random
He
stuff
just
that
fucking
shouts
yells
and
at
the
you.
site.
Yvette asks if am I gonna do every clue I get from Skatizo. The answer is I will make master clues anytime I possibly can, but I'm not doing just like a lower tier clue because I only want the Bloodhound. I don't care about.
I didn't
Doing other
think
clues?
about that.
Yeah, you get guaranteed hard clue every time, and you have a 1 out of 5 chance for an elite, right, from Skatizo. So
Yeah,
That's
I
gonna
need
be
to
good
start
for-
doing catacombs.
it's gonna be good for hunting for the Bloodhound as well. A little,
Yeah, it's
it'll
gonna
be a little
sick for
helpful.
clues. Speaking of Iwi, there's somebody in game here that's just named IWI. That was interesting.
Next
right.
question.
Yeah. Let's move
So next
on.
question, should it be possible to change the order of prayer icons? Well, we'll just wrap this question and the next one together. Changing the order of your spell book and your prayers. Right.
Failed.
So this one's a little contentious. They're both currently failing the poll, but the spell book is much closer. Spell book, I think, is like almost 74% right now. Something like that. It's close, or 73 or something like that. Smart. So
Joy.
I'm pretty sure all three of us up here feel the same way, which is third-party clients already do this. Why the hell wouldn't you want the main client to do this?
Yeah. It's
Is that kind of how we all feel?
It's also the way that some people choose to vote is really fucking frustrating because it's one of those things that just because you don't feel like you would use it, why do you want other people to not have the option? Because some people will use it.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
hate
also
that-
tying in with the
Recruiting
spellbook
applies
question.
here.
yeah, it would.
But
Yeah, the order of the spellbook is changing regardless.
Yeah.
Like no matter what you do, the lunar spellbook's getting reordered, which moves vengeance down to the first slot on the last line, and spellbook swap becomes the last spell in the book.
It's really dumb that this is failing because, like, it
Yeah.
pigeonholes a lot of future content. Like, if we ever want to add
Yes.
in more spells to the Lunar Book, so many people are gonna vote no because, oh my god, it moves vengeance. Like, I can see support for not having the prayer book be moved because it makes Bridding a lot easier if you have things placed in a certain way. However, third-party clients already do it. May as well make it accessible to everyone.
RuneLoader already does this.
My-
For those of you that don't know, you can
And
already move.
My
your
argument
spellbook.
for that is that if the game client
prayer book.
officially supports it, then it'll make it easier for everyone across the board. Therefore, thereby everybody will still be on level footing when it
Yeah.
comes to Britain.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's gonna be
that's fine.
equal.
Yeah.
This is the same argument we felt about with with the AHK removal, right? Like we weren't all necessarily fans of it, but what it did was it put everyone on an even footing,
Yeah.
and you didn't have to use fucking third-party software. It puts everyone on even footing. We're talking about shift click to drop here after they banned AHK. It puts everyone on an even playing field because Jagex is saying like, look, we understand this is something players want. We'll offer you what we think is a reasonable version of that thing, and you can use that, right? So this just strikes me as, the players who vote yes for shift click to drop and no to this, I don't understand your logic.
No.
Your logic is very inconsistent here.
I don't think they're using
Um,
logic at all. They're just voting no because fuck everything.
See, the
I don't
thing is,
think
like,
people
I'm not
think about
sure. I'm not sure. Somebody said in the chat, ban third-party clients from doing it. I'm not sure it's really possible to do that. That it would be possible to prevent them from doing that because of if you have enough coding knowledge, you can do a lot of really cool shit.
Yeah.
Honestly. So I mean, somebody who has enough knowledge, I think, is going to be able to get past this. I don't know. It's either way, I'm gonna play the game the way it is, and it's not something I'm gonna quit over, but it is something I'm gonna kind of like scratch my head at, because players will vote no to future content just because vengeance isn't gonna get moved. Or we might get a new lunar spell someday, and I definitely know that that was a concern for people when Geomancy and Spin Flax and the Oriana teleport and stuff were added into the game. They said we're gonna put them below Vengeance, so Vengeance doesn't get moved. And that's a stupid way to build your game, but it's because of the polling system, right? This is another one of those times Jagex is kind of getting fucked by the polling system. If they didn't have this polling system in the game, they would just add this, right? They clearly think it's something that the players might want or need in the game, so they've put it to a poll. Of course, it's not passing, but I feel like they would just add it in if there wasn't a poll. Like, this is just one of those things they would do.
Probably.
I don't know. It's bizarre to me. Like, people voting no to improvements to the main. Like, it almost makes me feel like one day we're gonna get a mini map in the old school client, and players are gonna say no. Players are gonna vote no to a fucking mini map. You know what I mean? Like, this is what it's on par with to me. It's like it's a UI improvement. If you don't like it, don't use it.
Yeah.
But you're trying. I don't know.
What bothers me is that there's this pattern of people voting in such a way on questions where they use the word "should this" or the phrasing "should this be possible," and people don't seem to understand that just because something's possible,
it already is possible.
Well, also, but people don't understand that just because something's possible, it doesn't mean that they have to use it. If you don't like it, other people can use it, and you can just not let it bother you at all because it's not going to change the way you play if you don't want it to.
I'm sorry. Having a mini-map on the official client makes it easy, Scape?
No, it doesn't.
No, it's one of the most asked for features.
Yeah.
Explain?
Yeah, it's one of the most asked for features. Literally every third-party client, which the majority of people who play old school use third-party clients. Every third-party client has it.
This is the same person in the chat who said, "Oh no, something got voted no on. Cry about it." In the chat, so don't. It doesn't.
Oh
really
yeah, I
matter
know.
what he
I'm
says.
reading. Like, I know he's baiting, but like, that's just really dumb.
Oh well, I mean, 100% of what I've seen him say is dumb. So at least he's consistent.
I mean, you're not wrong, but yeah, like
Consistency is key. keep doing.
What about not wasting dev time? The thing is, for me, is like, I think it should be kind of almost up to the devs to decide what's a waste of dev time or not, because they actually spend a good deal of time, kind of really fleshing out the idea of the content before they implement it. And that's almost like a big part of the work, right? Is kind of giving you an idea of how it'll look, giving you an idea of what it's going to entail. That's a lot of the legwork. Usually, a lot of times, actually coding the project doesn't really take as long as you might think. For some things, it takes longer, of course, than you might think it would, but it's not always a complicated process. I don't know. I think if it's worth the dev time or not should be up to the devs, honestly. I kind of hate this notion of like, well, I'm going to vote no to that content because I think the devs could be doing something better. Maybe, but I think the devs have a pretty good idea of what matters to the game.
I don't think we should vote. I don't think we should take dev time into consideration when we vote on a poll, because the way I see it, we vote on what changes we want to come into the game. They decide what to prioritize. They choose where their dev time goes.
They know what's a priority, I think.
Yes.
Or at least they have a pretty good idea of what's a priority for the game.
Dev time shouldn't be taken into account with it when you vote on anything. If it's a feature you want in the game, go for it.
I also just want to point out to WTB that just because you don't think it's a good addition or just because you don't think you'd use it doesn't make it a waste of dev time necessarily, because other people would.
But I do feel like this is kind of like a popular opinion that if a third-party client already has it and a lot of people play third-party clients, why should Jagex bother, right? And this kind of almost just makes me go like, fuck it, we should just ban third-party clients. Because like why are we limiting what the official client can be because there's other clients? Like that's so dumb.
That is
if you were running a company, if you were running a business, that's not at fucking all how you would run your business. That's a stupid business model. Oh well, our competitor offers this service, so let's just never offer it. I mean, somewhat, yeah, if you're actually competing, but like the reality is here is like RuneScape is Jagex's game. Wouldn't it be good if like their client was kind of the better client to run or one of the better clients to run? Currently, I think the official client's the worst client, like by quite a bit. I don't know. It almost makes me really just ask for Jagex to put the hammer down on third parties. And I run a third party client. I play Conduit, and I love Conduit. But it kind of makes me worried for the future of the game that people really have this notion of, well, we shouldn't pass this content because some third-party developer already did it. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
It's a bit silly, yeah.
I would almost just rather not play a third-party client, if that's the case.
I did play the official client for quite a while.
I was playing it today.
I did as well before I knew about third-party clients. I was very skeptical of them
Yeah.
whenever I first started playing.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean,
Yeah,
I play the
everywhere.
official client from time to time on my laptop.
Yeah.
I'd go back to it if it had an in-game map feature
Yeah, I think if it had a minimum.
and a way to track in-game experience an hour. That's all I really use
I think
third-party
in
clients for
addition
anyway.
to that, for me to go switch back to it would be ground item text overlay. I really
That.
like that.
Yeah, ground items. I think ground items and the mini map are like
Yeah.
the two biggest changes. for
Doing
me.
without ground items, I do not like.
No, I'm not right-clicking on fucking
Right-clicking
everything.
all my loot again.
Mhm. Like go back to the days
Yeah,
of
see, like-
examining stuff for fun.
That's almost what I'm on here, Subro. Like I'm almost on that level these days. I mean, of course, I'm still gonna play on a third-party client because they're still legal. It's kind of like AHK when AHK was still legal, right?
Yeah.
And it was kind of like that questionable middle ground thing. The reason I used it was because it was very convenient, and to me, I was doing the same thing that I can do with Windows Mouse keys, which is already legal software. It was kind of like the same deal. It's like, well, yeah, I could play on the official client, but third-party clients are also legal and more convenient for me. So yeah, it's like kind of the same line. But if Jagex sort of put the hammer down on third parties and we had a mini map, I don't think I would lose that much sleep over it, honestly. I don't know. It's an interesting discussion here. It's a pretty big topic. I'm just overall, I just scratch my head at people who vote no to stuff like this. Jagex is trying to improve their client. They're trying to make their client better, and then players tell them, no, we don't want a better client. I almost feel like client changes shouldn't be polled, but that's not right either. Like that's not the right answer either. I don't know. I don't know what the answer to this one is. I think we just have to live in the world that we don't get this change, and we're never going to get it. I don't think we're ever going to get this. Are you guys okay with these features never coming into the game?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. But I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, even RuneLoader having the whole like moving the prayers around thing did make me go play RuneLoader, right? It wasn't enough for me to swap to that client.
Definitely not.
It wasn't so good a feature that I was like, right, yeah, we have to have this. I don't know. It's something I think that it's just one of those things where it's like, oh, why not? Like, we can make the client better. Why not? This will benefit people.
Yeah.
I don't know. Interesting question. Interesting question. Yeah, let's move on to question 24 here. If the client of current quest is added, should one reward for completing the quest be... Oh, sorry. This question 23 ties into this. My bad. Client of Korend, which is a novice quest on Zaya. Should it be added? And then question 24, if it's added, should one reward for completing it be instant 20% favor? And then the last one, should an additional reward be permanently doubling the rate of favor gain? So, yeah, I'm pretty sure these are all passing. The double favor one actually is... well, let's start with the quest first off. You guys think the quest is a good idea? Yes, no?
Yeah, I like the idea of
Yes.
it.
I want more quests on Zaya.
I want more quest period.
You mean more than
on
zero?
Zaya especially. Yeah.
Anything is good.
Sounds good to
So
me.
we all think the instant 20% favor in one house is a good idea, right? Everyone's just gonna put it in Piscarius, free favor. Free 20% Piscarius favor is a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically,
think
that
that
allows you to
makes it maybe
bypass the worst methods of getting favor, because at the beginning of each one, except for Arceus, which is the same
I think we
throughout,
still
right?
have to gather fish on Piscarius at 20%.
Okay.
I don't remember what percentage you need to do that to till you can collect sandworms. I think it's 35.
It sounds right.
Maybe?
I think
30
the
or 35.
cranes were the worst part because it was extremely slow.
The
I just
cranes were
remember
awful, yeah.
how
Yeah, the
slow-
cranes are awful, and you got to bypass that. That's like an hour of your time.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I'd rather do the fish than the cranes, to be honest.
it's really, really, really nice. And then the additionally the doubling the rate of gaining favor. This basically takes Piscarius and Leviking and says like, right, instead of wasting 4 to 5 hours of your time, how about we just make it like 2 hours of your time? So instead of like 2 days of gameplay to complete all favor, or like one very long day, you have like 1 afternoon of playtime to complete all favor for all houses. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I like the 20% buff. I'm not a huge fan of the double favor.
I don't really care either
The reason
way.
I voted yes to both of these changes is because A, I might be playing through them on alt accounts at some point, so this does affect me. And B, the whole concept of favor can go fucking die in a hole. Like it's shit. It's
It
really
is.
bad. It reminds me of rep grinding in other MMOs, and that concept is fucking dead. Like that should have died with like, vanilla WoW. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck
I voted yes to both of them. Even though I don't particularly agree with having double favor come from a novice quest. Like if it takes
Yeah,
you 15
I feel
minutes
that.
of work and you get a huge substantial buff to all the time you're gonna be putting into Zaya, like I don't know, that doesn't seem right to me. But like other people are gonna use it and they're gonna be happy with it, so I voted yes for it. But
Okay,
I
so
would rather see it come
what
from something else.
easy quest do you think gives you this level of reward? Like Ava's? Ava's is pretty fucking good, and it's a fairly easy quest.
Yeah,
It doesn't
that
require-
would be
Yeah.
something comparable.
But
They're not
Ava's
many,
is
though.
best in slot, and it's a piss easy quest. Anything else you guys think is comparable in like terms of like just how easy the quest is probably going to be?
I'm looking through Dwarf Cannon.
You don't get a free dwarf
Cannon's
cannon
pretty
from
good.
it, though.
You don't get a
No,
free
but
cannon.
Cannon is extremely powerful
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cannon's still extremely powerful.
for
It
a
is.
5-minute quest.
it is.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something else that gives you something this good for such an easy quest. I think that's probably it. Like, it's probably just like Ava's.
Yeah,
It's like the only thing I think that's on par.
yeah.
Yeah. Either way, very good quest.
No.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. So I think that covers all the stuff in the poll. Man, that took a little longer than I thought it would. Like an hour and a half to cover the poll. All right, so we're done with all that, and we pretty much covered the dev blog as well. Yeah, everything was pretty much covered in the dev blog.
Yeah.
All right, so we can move on to we're gonna do this week's update before we do the month ahead and stuff. Alrighty.
I will say before we
Let's
get into
do-
these that we should try to cover them rather quickly. I feel like we
Quickly.
spent a long time on that other one, and I have like a hard time I'd like to be done by because I got some shit to do this evening.
Yep. No, it's all good, man. We'll fight
Okay.
through this. All right. So Easter event. Nobody did this, right? Okay. Cool. So we won't talk about it. No, I'm just kidding. Easter event's cool if you want to do the Easter event. Awesome. I think you need it for. Don't you need the holiday tracks or trimmed music cape?
Yeah, to
Yeah,
trim
you
it.
do.
Yeah.
Not to get it,
So-
but to trim it.
Yeah. If you want to trim your music cape, go do the holiday event. You need the music tracks. So there you go. It does have a purpose, which is current content we already like.
It's also great if you want to look like a fucking moron with the new helmet.
Oh yeah, the egg hat is.
It looks
ridiculous.
so bad.
Oh my god, man. It looks awful. Okay, so there's some changes to Changeovers of Zarek. That's probably like the thing that matters the most this week. Which is okay, so we talked about this I think last week. We talked about some raid tweaks that Merrick posted somewhere, like Reddit, somewhere like that. So basically I think they listened to that and they tweaked some of the bosses. So Tecton Dragon Warhammer special attack usually reduces the target's defense by 30% when it successfully deals damage. Against Tecton, it will now reduce by 5% if you fail to hit.
Yep.
So makes Tecton more consistent.
Good.
Meaning, like, you whiff the first spec, now your next spec is a lot more likely to hit because it's 5% less defense. So your next spec is more likely. And if you have 3 people, 4 people, 5 people in your party with hammers, pretty fucking good. Like, Tecton's a lot more consistent now. I haven't done any raids since this change, but I have heard. Yeah, I've heard it makes the fight a little less shit, basically.
Yeah, but not to the effect that people wanted to see.
Yeah, not to the same extent, which I think a lot of people are asking the defense to be lowered, but like it does make it kind of reasonable if, like, say you kind of whiff
assuming you have hammers though. Like you still need a full team of people that have hammers if you're reasonably going to do Tecton.
Yeah, well, we should say if you're going to do Tecton without restocking, because Tecton's super doable if you go get supplies.
Yeah.
If you don't, then that's the reason people didn't like Tecton in its current form, is because you almost certainly had to resupply if you didn't just slam them with Dragon Warhammer specs right away. You pretty much were forced to resupply. So we'll move on from that. Vespula, the Vespula portal room now, the portal in Vespula room now gives more reward points per unit damage dealt. It also spawns potions on the ground when it's destroyed. This can be picked up by anyone, including Iron Man. So yeah, they made Vespula like less shit. It gives you supplies and more points, which is like the main reason people didn't like Vespula. No supplies for doing it, and also the points were terrible. So good changes. Vanguards previously performed their healing trick when they were 20% or more difference. Threshold has been increased to 33%. This is pretty much exactly the change people were asking for, except for the rooms. People wanted the rooms changed a little bit on Vanguards as well.
Yep. Because
the rooms are kind of weird layout that can really influence the fight. So we got most of what we wanted there. I think this is the important one because it makes soloing and duoing.
You know what's
Vanguard
interesting though is, like, when I read this, I was like, oh hell yeah, those are good. Those are all good changes. They took the player feedback. It sounds like raids are gonna be more tolerable in a handful of ways, and I'd actually maybe want to do them at some point soon because of that. But then I looked at Twitter, and it seems like Casey tweeted out that he was really disappointed with the change. He said that there's barely any like this is not enough. He said barely any difference. Really disappointed with the update or whatever. Okay. And that was surprising to me. Okay. And I guess like it's.
We can talk about this later.
No, we have an Ashton break.
All right.
And raids, they're already kind of a pain. They're already very intensive. So these changes seemed really good to me. But then when Casey, who has done a shitload of raids, said that it barely makes a difference, that kind of made me scratch my head. Because looking at them on paper,
does Casey ever really do solo raids?
Well, even if you're not soloing these. Right, this seems like a good. All these things seem like a good thing.
The Vanguard change really only matters mostly to solo players, right? Or players who
it matters more to solo players, but even in a group setting, that change, the 20% to 33% difference, is still a good thing.
It still comes out pretty negligible whenever you have a bigger team and it's scaled up health pool wise.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But for solo, it definitely makes the difference.
What about a trio?
Trio's
pretty efficient to do. That was probably
I don't know personally.
I've been trying for a totem piece this entire podcast. I've gotten 2 ancient shards and now a dragonstone.
Nice.
Heavy demons. Fuck's sake.
All right. So they also buffed the thieving room. The thieving room's a little bit better as well.
I don't know.
I think it's interesting that like you guys are saying, like, I think you guys are correct that, like, to the really experienced hardcore pro raiders, these changes probably make little to no difference, and to them they were just like tiny little tweaks to make things a little less annoying, a little less of a nuisance. Mm-hmm. But for some of the worst players, like the Vanguard change, I think is a big deal to like uncoordinated parties.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see how like Tecton and Vespula. People look at those changes.
You don't want to do Vespula still, but it's a bit more rewarding. The Tecton change.
Yeah, they still don't even want to do them.
Right.
Like it doesn't address. I think the core issue is that people don't want to do these rooms.
Yeah.
Like they just don't want them. They don't want Tecton and they don't want Vespula in the raid if they can help it.
Yeah.
Vanguards is one of those that you're like, yeah, I'll do Vanguards. Shrug. It's not too bad to do Vanguards because at least your whole party gets overloads from Vanguards, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it really addressed the core issue. They still haven't addressed scouting at all. I think there's a few more a few more layouts. Right? It says a few more layouts.
They added more variation, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like before you had like set patterns you could get, and they kind of just broke those up more. If
Right,
that
well, I
makes
mean,
sense.
I'm down for tweaks to raids. Like raids is some of
Yeah.
I think the more interesting content this game has right now, and raids could be really, really great. And I'm glad to see they keep refining it because I don't know, raids feels cool. I like raids.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they continue to tweak it. Right, and speaking of tweaks, we got friends list tweaks. You can now choose in alphabetical order, sort your friends list. It will now sort by people online instead of offline. Because it used to just sort them by name alphabetically, which is dumb. I want to see my friends who are online.
Further proof that they didn't test it.
Yeah.
I
think this is one of those things where like Mod Atlas was kind of like, hey guys, engine features. And they're like, sweet. Just throw it out there.
Do it. Like at 5 p.m. on a Friday and they go home. Just fucking do it. All right.
Great.
Bye.
Done.
Yeah.
Sign off on it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. We'll do it live. One of those deals. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of like more like a tweak, but like should have been really obvious during the QA stage that like, yeah, it should make sense that it should work this way, you know?
Yeah.
I'm glad that it's been changed. It's weird. Clan menu now allows players with longer friends lists to use the sorting arrow. So it used to be that if you had like a very full friends list, you couldn't sort your clan chat.
Right.
Which I thought was kind of ridiculous. So it's good that that's been changed as well. In the other news, I don't think there's anything really important in the other news other than the cabbage cape. You can buy that, as well as the cruciferous codex. Cruciferous codex.
I like how there are three different bullet points on this update about the cabbage cape.
Cabbage cape is very important, man.
Sure.
The one that kind of makes me laugh a little bit, the cabbage cape is no longer permitted on Intrana.
Yeah, why?
There wasn't a check for it being equipment, apparently.
Does it give any bonuses?
Yeah, it has.
Yes.
It gives defensive stats.
Okay, yeah, I see that now.
It gives defensive stats.
All right.
You're allowed to take it on Intrana, which to me is very bizarre.
If you're newbie enough to be wearing the cabbage cape everywhere you go for like practicality's sake, then I think you should be allowed to take it on Intrana, because poor you.
Somebody stated that, like, I remember in the thread when this update came out, somebody says devalues my Intrana only Iron Man, and it was like Tyrion or Matt K or somebody just commented, and he said like, look, if you're really an Intrana only Iron Man, you shouldn't have that fucking cape. There's no way you should have that cape.
Yeah, because it came originally from doing the cabbage patch in
for a
Falador.
holiday event. You can't leave Intrana.
No.
To do your holiday events. What are you?
I just want to make like a joke video where I'm like, okay, guys, I'm starting up in Intrana only Iron Man, and I get off Tutorial Island and I'm standing in Lumbridge and I'm like, fuck, I already failed it. Well, that's it, guys.
Get off Tutorial
It's
Island.
over.
Shit. You ever think with if you were to make here's a fun question for you guys, not related to any of this.
Yep.
If you were to make a X only area account, so let's say a Karamja only. If you're gonna make a Karamja only account, would you want to immediately go to Karamja as soon as you get off Tutorial Island, do nothing else? Or would you say, like, right, there's a few little things I want to grab before I go to Karamja?
I feel
Which
like
way
that
would
defeats
you
the
do that?
purpose if you're allowed to do that, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, it's a self-imposed restriction account, right?
That's true.
So anything you think is, okay, is okay, right? Because it's self-imposed.
Yeah, but I think that from the point of view of a content creator, you're gonna catch a lot of shit if you have that kind of restriction, but then you're like, but I'm gonna do these things first. And just for the record, for those of you who don't know, that dude made an account just yesterday and was being an asshole in my chat. So yeah, there was
He's
a
a cool
reason
dude.
for that ban.
He's a cool cat.
I mean, his name is Meatball Head. Can't go wrong.
Spicy meatball. Right. I don't know. For me, it's like almost like because you got to do some like ridiculous stuff as a Karamja only account, right? Or like a Zaya only account. That's part of the draw of it, but like also like some things are just totally off limits, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like for instance, what is it like potentially, like you can never really train construction at all for like anything. You never get to use construction. Not that that matters, but you know. Well, I guess no. I guess eventually you can get a Brimhaven house, right?
Yeah.
But there's there's no way you could ever make the planks, right? There's no sawmill. You can't get a butler. There's no way you can get a butler.
I can't get a butler. You can't get lunars for plank make.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Like certain things like that. Would you say like, okay, I will train my construction to a level where I can buy the worst butler or something like that, so I can train construction?
I just think
what I would do. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chase.
No. I was gonna kind of repeat myself from earlier and say you gotta be careful of the restrictions, and especially if you create content. You need to pretty much stick to that restriction.
The way I would do it is I would have it heavily restricted, but I would give myself allowances and like challenge goals. So for example, if I was doing like a wilderness only Ironman, to switch it up here a little bit, at like certain kill counts, like for killing other players, I would allow myself like one novice quest. Go out, do the quest, immediately back in the wilderness, and then rank up. And as I complete like more and more shit,
potentially something like that.
Quests.
Yeah,
because you. Yeah, go ahead.
I would use the quests as a way to like train those other things, so you can get the construction levels and stuff you need through questing or through lamps or whatever.
Yeah.
And I would do the same thing with Karamja. I would set myself like I don't know what kind, but like challenge goals, and then I'd complete them, allow myself like a quest or two, or like I don't know, a couple inventories or like a sawmill, and then straight back to Karamja. Like 99.99% of the time would be spent in my restrictive zone, but I would give myself allowances if I were to do it in some format.
Yeah, I think it really does prolong the gameplay to do it that way, because it's almost like you'll almost be just forced to do just a few activities if you don't, right? Because for instance, already trying to do construction on like a Karamja only account is already pretty ridiculous. You have to get to the level where you can get the Brimhaven house, which is at 35 or something like that.
You can't even place the house there. There's no guy to talk to.
Right.
Yeah, no, you'd have to get to a certain construction level and then give yourself the allowance of, right, I'm going to go purchase this house now.
I think however you do it, if you, from the standpoint of a content creator, you need to be upfront with your restriction allowances.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like if you
it's not something you would make up on the fly.
Right.
Yeah, I'm saying like if you from the outset say like, right, these rules, we're gonna do these things that go outside of what you might think.
Mm-hmm.
These are allowances or goals or whatever that I'm allowing myself. I think it makes it more interesting to do it that way, because you get more out of your account.
Yeah.
Rather than just saying like, yeah, construction is a skill that does not exist. Or like druidic ritual, right? Like that's probably like the biggest one. Like, would you do druidic ritual before you go to wherever you're going?
I guess so. I think that it's kind of a moot point for me, because I'd never do a restricted account like that.
Pet only
How
account.
would you do Slayer?
Very carefully.
You train Slayer only through you train only through diaries until you get to the point where you're 100 combat and enough Slayer level that you can use Durdell as your Slayer master.
What are you gonna
But then I'm pretty sure you can get tasks that just totally fuck your account.
Yeah,
because
like you can't skip them. Like if you get something like right out the gate,
if you get like gargoyles, you're boned.
Yeah, you're fucked. Because you can't go to like Turiel unless you like allow yourself the restriction to skip there, reset your tasks.
No, I don't know. I have no idea how actually like Slayer would work on an account like that. I think you're just totally fucked if you get it.
Yeah. That's still such a long ass grind.
I know, it's crazy. That's why the Karamja only account I think is dope. Like it's just I would never want to do it. I mean, I'm already playing an Iron Man. I think that's bad enough in some cases.
Yeah.
But like seeing the Karamja only, it's like the coolest thing to see, but I would never want to do it myself.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting to think about, though, I think.
So I read through the rest of the bullet points here. The only one that I think is worth mentioning is the change for the Ultimate Iron Man, because the rest of them are just like clipping issues have been fixed.
Yeah.
And the Ultimate Iron Man will no longer be advised to free up bank space to let Bird deliver sand for them.
And yeah, that's been a thing for a very long time.
Drew was very happy about this because he said it was super annoying. What bank space, homie?
Yeah, what bank, dude?
Yeah.
All right, so let's skip over to the month ahead and go through this really quick here. We've already covered the Slayer poll content. Easter update's already out, so pretty much it's just Fossil Island details. It's really what we're looking at, which is a lot of what the Q&A covered, which is what we'll talk about the Q&A and stuff like that. And then the Dead Man seasonal conclusion, which is April 27th. Yeah, end of April. It's the Dead Man season conclusion. So basically, at this point, we're just looking forward to Fossil Island, which the approximate release date is like September, right? And I think the Inferno 2 comes out like sometime during the summer. Like
Inferno
June?
2? Or do you mean also?
Inferno early, early summer. Fossil Island more towards Runefest.
Yeah, cool. Right, so all that stuff, we've already kind of covered a lot of that. So I guess we'll just go dive into something real quick before we go to the Q&A questions, which is the Jagex logo. Oh, what do you guys think about the Jagex logo? I don't want to give away my thoughts just yet.
I had a comment. We were talking about this briefly before the podcast started up, and I said I wanted to save my comments, so I have a couple prepared. One, I don't think it's representative of the company very well because it's such an abstract design. The old design was very, I mean, it looked old, right? Like we discussed, it looked like it was made in the 90s. Probably because it was, or yeah, it was. And
early aughts or whatever.
But I think that the style of it kind of fit their company better. The new one means nothing to anyone because it's just, it's just a thing. It's just a little signal, And I think that my problem with it is that it looks like they had a graphic design intern for one summer, and that was like his job was to make them a new logo. And that's what it is. It's like it's some contrived new logo.
It looks like somebody I might hit up from Twitter.
Yeah.
To like, hey, dude, can you pitch me some logo designs? He chucks me some generic logo. And I'm like, yeah,
it looks like an intern made it, and they decided to actually use it. And the dude was like 1 year in a graphic design course.
I mean,
I really don't like it.
No, I don't like it either.
Here's the thing about logos, right? Logos and branding. It's like you kind of want to, this is the modern school of like branding, right? Is what they're adopting here, which is we want something simple that somewhat represents our company and our values or whatever, right? Yeah. That we can use and manipulate in a lot of different ways. So like the base logo probably doesn't look like anything exciting or really like much at all, but it's super flexible, can get used in all sorts of different ways, right?
They never pulled the logo.
Philosophy for a games company that is best known for making a retro game, right? They've got this really modern like looking logo, this really modern branding for a company that makes old ass games, right? It's weird. It's weird. Would the logo pass a poll?
It wouldn't.
No.
It's just, no, I think that it makes no sense.
I agree that the old logo was kind of...
It needed updating, but they didn't make it better. They made it worse. What the fuck is that? Is pretty much everybody's reaction to it. Like, what is that?
That's what I
think it's supposed to be an X.
It looks like the fucking ads for next year's X Games is what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's what it fucking looks like. That's what
they're gonna bring bicycles and BMX into RuneScape.
Oh my god, dude, it's gonna be sweet. Gnarly, bro.
I think we think it's bad.
As long as I got some nice pixelated titties in the game, you can add anything you want.
You know what's funny though is because I woke up this morning and they had released this post about their new logo, and the first thing I saw wasn't the post itself; it was Kiefer's quoting the post and saying, "It's shit" or something like that. Right? That was the first thing I saw about it, and I thought to myself, he's gonna be like making a joke or something, like, right? That's not actually the real thing. Like that's pretty harsh. And then I saw it myself and I was like, holy shit, he's right. This is real.
That is
and
shit.
It is shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. The fun part about this is like this wasn't a decision that came too quickly. This was a 6 months of like sitting down in meetings and like looking at, like, all right, like let's discuss what we want, right? This was probably months in the making. I think they said it was like 6 months, like a 6-month process or something to come up with this logo. Mind blowing. This is what's 6 months to come up with this. Blows my fucking mind.
6 months.
All
this
right.
Is like, This is like one afternoon. The intern got high and was like, "This is what I saw in my head."
Well, more than likely, the guy who made the logo probably knows what he's doing. And it's probably the people sitting down in that boardroom that just can't fucking agree on something. And so the artist comes up with something, and eventually they're happy for some reason.
Like, how about kind of a sigma? Okay. Nah. Okay, how about we mirror it? Nah. How about we add a line through it too? Okay.
All right.
All right.
Petition for new Jagex logo. What is this? Oh my god. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh man. Let's go to cover stuff from the Q&A. We'll just fire through this really quick. So this portion, this is a portion we'd like to do where we talk about stuff that they talked about on the Q&A, and then we give our feedback on what they thought and what we think. Mm-hmm. So we'll start with the first question. Any plans for volcanic ash fertilizer for farming? So this is something on Fossil Island. They say yes, they're planning a high level of compost higher than super compost.
It's called ultra compost, confirmed by
Mega Compost,
Wolf, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. He said it's going to be very good.
It's going to be fucking rad. Now, what I thought it was interesting is somebody's asking, like, well, will we get a lunar spell to accompany this? Ooh. Potential level 99 lunar spell? Wow. Mega Compost.
But you see,
it's gonna move Vengeance.
It would move Vengeance,
yeah.
Now.
Well, no, it's higher level than Vengeance. It's level 99.
Yeah, I guess it would just go on the end.
It wouldn't touch Vengeance. Extreme Compost.
Yeah, that goes right along with the X
with their
games.
new logo.
It's rad.
Oh my god.
Hello, fellow kids.
We get the only way to get your volcanic ash fertilizer is BMX racing.
Y'all got any more of them X games?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the name Ultra Compost? What do you think about
edgy?
That?
I would personally prefer Mega Compost or Giga Compost. Be pretty fucking sweet.
I don't
Dank
really care
compost.
what it's called, I guess.
I like it. Dank Compost.
Made with Renar weeds only.
So we all think this is cool, right? What do you guys think about the lunar spell?
Sure. Yeah, why not?
I want a lunar spell.
Yeah, I'm always down for new spells. That's actually something I wanted to talk about too. They mentioned on the podcast a new rune type that was floating around Reddit called a Wrath rune. I don't know if you guys saw the post or not. I didn't. I'm just going off what they talked about. It'd be a new rune. It would have a 90+ requirement, and it would bring in surge spells to the game and give some new use to the regular spellbook. And it would also transcend spellbooks, as in it would be used for lunar spells as well that they had in mind. I don't know what they were. They didn't mention it.
Yeah, they didn't mention what lunar spells were, but yeah.
I
think the Wrath rune it's got potential. I wouldn't mind seeing Surge.
I don't know.
Makes the spellbook more useful.
I would very much like Surge spells.
Maybe.
Oh, another thing while we're on topic of runes, double death runes, 99 rune crafting requirement.
Yeah, they said they're open to that.
Yeah, Kieran
I'm open to that too.
Yeah, I don't really mind that idea.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many people would actually end up using this. How much money would double death runes be? How much are death runes right now?
I don't know. I'm in combat.
I don't either.
Okay, well, I'll take a look here. On ye old client, death rune. Right, death runes are 366 GP is what it's saying in Convo. I don't know if that's accurate. So it's like what nature runes were worth at their high peak.
Yeah,
right.
Like what nature runes are worth.
More than Nats, yeah, it would be more than Nats.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, people craft that shit for money, right? But it would also tank the price, wouldn't it?
It would. Yeah. It would tank the price, but at the same time, I feel like it would take the people that are doing post 99 rune crafting off of doing natures and putting them onto death runes. So natures might rise in price. So it might bring deaths down and rise up natures.
True.
Possible.
The thing you have to be careful about with deaths, though, they are tied to the price of the Fury. If you tank death runes too much, then you totally tank the price of Onyx.
Yeah, that could be problematic.
So currently, the price of Onyx is limited by what the price of buying Chaos runes is in the shop.
Yeah,
basically. If we provide a better way to get death runes that equals out to more than what you can get from shopping Chaos Runes. It's better in terms of money than shopping Chaos Runes. Then you end up with a situation where we're tanking Onyxes. I don't think it's going to happen. I think that would be really tough to do. I haven't done the numbers on it, but I imagine a situation like that, you would really have to like murder.
Onyx is already 1.8 mil cheaper than the Death Runes required at their current price. You need 14,444 Death Runes with the gloves, which comes out to 4.8 mil. And Onyx is just over 3.
Huh.
So even if they did go down in price, it'd have to be pretty substantial.
Yeah, because currently I think it's Chaos Runes. Chaos Runes is what's tying the price of Onyxes, because you can shop. I think you can buy Chaos Rune packs, right?
Yeah,
you can now.
Yeah, you can shop a shitload of Chaos Runes.
Yeah, and you need twice as many as that, so that's 28,888.
There's a really big Death Rune sink though. True.
Trident, yeah.
Trident. Anyone who's used the Trident for any period of time knows that thing sucks.
That's what I burn through
Death
the
Rune.
most.
For me, it's Trident and barraging.
Barrage is so many. It's 4 per
I use it for everything. I use it for the Trident. I use it for barraging. I use it for Vengeance on tasks when I have to switch to Lunar.
Yeah. I actually find myself buying Death Runes quite frequently on my Iron Man now. The other day, I went and dropped like 5 mil on Death Runes. You know, like which is significant for an Iron Man. That means I'm literally sitting at like a Magic store, hopping worlds, and buying Death Runes for like an hour. You use so many of them now. It's just like Magic is in, dude. Like I didn't think I'd be saying this for a long time, but Magic I think is a pretty fucking good place right now. It used to be, I'd say, the least used combat style outside of barraging to 99 or stunking or whatever. You got your 99 so you can castle your shit, and then
it certainly was. Just because like there's no return on it. Like with investing in melee gear, that gear, you know, barring barrows, doesn't go anywhere. Like your arrows, you get 99. Well, no, I think it's 91% back from accumulator.
Yeah,
so you can just keep firing.
Great.
Whether you splash or not, your runes are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So for that reason, Magic was always extremely expensive and not that powerful.
Yeah, I like that they've made. I like that we're okay with Magic is good. It's expensive, but it's good, right?
Yeah.
I think that is definitely the direction to take Magic, and I like what Jagex has done. They've provided a lot more stuff that gives % damage. They're okay with saying like Magic is going to be good, and I like that. I like that direction for old school.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on from the Wrath Runes, we'll talk about the TAP projects. I thought this is an interesting question, which they asked them. For those of you guys who don't know, like TAP projects are basically like what the JMods get to work on during their spare time every week. So basically, they have one day where they're allowed to work on like personal projects every week. So they were asking, what were you guys working on? So ModWest said Dungeons for Zeo, which I think is pretty neato. Kieran's doing a DPS calculation spreadsheet so they can better balance the content. I think this is interesting because these tools already exist, but they don't exist using the algorithms that Jagex uses. So theirs are more accurate, basically. But I was just kind of like had a little giggle myself. I'm like, these tools already exist, Kieran. They're already out there. So Monash is working on the farming code because he's a fucking beast. We'd all love the farming code to work better. I think probably one of the biggest pieces of feedback players have given is like, can we just like make the farming code not be retarded through logout sessions?
Yep.
Because currently, I'm pretty sure most of you guys know this, but if you log out during the middle of a farming tick, you get reset to the last farming tick, which can lose as much as like I think for some of your trees, it loses as much as like 15 minutes of progress, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, it's like 15 minutes for trees and then like 5 minutes for herbs and shit.
Yeah.
It's pretty lame if you're having to world hop and stuff like that. Basically, your crops, it's like no time is ever going to pass if you keep world hopping, if you need to like buy runes, buy ores, whatever. And I think more of a problem for Iron Man than other accounts. But yeah, if you have to world hop a lot, you're getting dicked, basically. So I like that Ash is working on this because it's kind of, I think, a big problem with farming. Really, just a fundamental flaw of farming.
Yep.
And let's see, Mod Wolf MVP, working on a master level quest for the Fremenic, to continue the Fremenic
really
quest line. Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
I think this is dope, and I love that Mod Wolf is working on all these quests because quests is like the #1 thing I want out of this game currently. I really enjoy doing quests. It's one of the things I think sets old school apart from other games is the quests actually like They have like they have a real storyline, and you go out and meet interesting characters and do somewhat interesting things and fight.
They mean something more in this game than they do in other MMOs.
Yeah, in other MMOs, it's like collect me 5 bear belts. In
Basically,
this
Yeah.
game, it's like
Slayer.
I want you to go rip off
Yeah,
a
that's
dragon's
true.
head.
Shane said that it's
you
like
know?
doing Slayer, doing quests in other games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So I think the questing experience is something very unique to RuneScape, and it basically they use it as a way to gate the content, right? So
Mhm.
they're like, all right, demonic gorillas are awesome. They're in the game. Do Monkey Madness 2. That's what you got to do to get there. So it's got all these restrictions. It's a way to restrict content and gate content. So players have to kind of play through some storylines. It builds the world of the game. It's a very clever design, and it's one of the things I like the most about Old School. And that's why I'm bothered by the fact that we get so few quests.
Yeah.
That's why Mod Wolf is my favorite.
Cool.
If I ever see him, I'm gonna give him a really big hug.
Kappa Pride.
Yeah, Mod Kappa Pride. All right, so there were one more. Mod Archie's working on Raids expansion, and like a boss encounter for the new expansion for Raids. I think that's cool that like Archie's like getting in there, man.
That's pretty cool.
So when people say Archie doesn't do jack shit, there you go.
Besides push stuff for peers.
You can thank him for our eventual new Raids release.
Do you think that
Sometime
if
now.
Archie's working on it, it's going to be really important to bring Kawam Bams in with you?
Yeah, dude, you need
Yes.
Kawam
Bams will be
Bams. You're
essential.
gonna have to hybrid it.
If your defense level is above 1, the fight is much harder. Actually, I don't even know. I don't even know if the accounts that he plays are 1 death peers.
Scales linearly, 99 defense, it's going to fuck you. It hits through your defense the more defense you have. At 99 defense, the boss has 100% accuracy like KQ because fuck you.
You got the defense levels. You deserve this. You're only hurting yourself by making your account weaker. Yeah, Scorch brings up a good point. He said Mod Wolf was kind of talking about how the Nate's not helm was not best in slot strength because Serp helm exists.
Yeah.
And he said he wanted some sort of add-on or bonus or a way to like imbue or upgrade the Nate's not helm to make it worse, still worse defensively than a Serp helm, but like mighty strength bonus and prayer bonus, right?
That'd be cool.
So he wanted like a more powerful Nate's not helm. Which I think is super cool, and I think that's probably what we're gonna get from this Master Levels quest.
Mhm.
I think that's gonna be pretty cool. So, thanks for bringing that up, Scorch. I actually really like that suggestion from Mod Wolf. I think that was 2 Q&As ago, not this Q&A, but the
I
previous.
like that.
Yeah, I think it's cool because I mean, niche gear is nice, right? We like niche gear.
Yeah.
So that you have to you're like, oh, well, at this boss, I want to use this piece of gear, but at this one, I want to use this piece of gear. It creates some interesting decisions rather than just like, yeah, man, the blowpipe's really fucking good. It shreds everything. Turn on rigor, it'll fucking die. Like, it's kind of the case of ranged right now. So I honestly feel like I don't want to get into this discussion, but I do feel like ranged is like the most fucked up of all the combat styles in RuneScape right
It's
now.
pretty powerful.
Yeah, it most certainly is.
It's not even that it's powerful. The fact that it's powerful doesn't bother me as much as the fact that it's just like, yeah, man, blowpipe's pretty fucking good. And that's pretty much it. Like it's a problem that Melee used to be, which is like, yeah, use the whip and just like whip it real hard, man. Great. And then we kind of changed that whole deal around.
What's wrong with ranged? It is extremely powerful.
No, it's not even that it's powerful. It's just it's so
There's not much
single-minded.
variety.
Blowpipe or twisted bow.
Yeah. It's like
There's no variety. Yeah.
Blowpipe is
Blowpipe or nothing. Yeah, it's like nerf or nothing except for blowpipe or nothing.
Or using range. So.
Right, so we're gonna go through a few more of these, and then I think we're gonna try to do our sign off real quick here. Rob, do you have a good idea for the sign off?
I haven't even thought about it.
All right, well, you think about it while we go through these.
no, I got one.
You got
And
one?
it'll accelerate the process
Okay.
Cool.
of getting us to end on time for me. So yeah, no. Go through your last couple things here and I'll tell you afterward.
Okay, so I guess the big thing we should probably talk about is the Fossil Island sneak peek, right?
Mhm.
If we can only go through one more of these, I want to talk about Fossil Island. So they gave some sneak peek for the wyverns, the new wyverns. Pretty dope looking, actually. They were very well animated. Very well animated. I think Mod West did a great job. If you guys didn't get a chance to check those out, definitely worth checking them out.
Yeah, they look really nice.
I think there was something on YouTube about it. I don't know. It was. I think it's great, and it makes me just so excited for Fossil Island. The fact that I gotta wait for September to see this content makes me a little sad. All the way in September. Man.
Stuff to look forward to.
Yeah, I agree, Scorch. He does a great job. I think Mod West is phenomenal, man. He does great
It's
work.
very nice to meet.
I forgot his name.
Yeah, if
I felt so bad when I met them at the studio. I was like, oh yeah, Mod Ghost, and like I knew his name when he joined the team, but I just blanked. I was like, I'm so sorry, I don't remember your name.
he was like, oh,
It's okay, they didn't know my name
Mod
either.
hasn't been here long enough.
It was good. It was fine.
All right, do we want to talk about the MSB special?
What about it?
The fact that it doesn't stack with Void, Rigor, all that stuff.
It's stupid and it should.
Yeah. Apparently, a lot of special attacks, not even just these ones. It's like the ones that players are concerned about was like MSB, Magic Longbow, Magic Compound Bow, and like just like one other one. None of those work with Void. They don't take your Void bonus into account, and they don't take Rigor or Eagle Eye into account.
It's one of the pitfalls of having the game worked on by so many different people over so many different years. Stuff like that gets overlooked. They don't tie in together properly.
Yeah. I mean, the funny part is like they say this is intentional, but other specs do work this way, but like some don't. It just it seems odd that the regular range attacks work this way, but the special attacks don't. Like your regular range attack for the MSB hits harder than your special attack. That's so weird, right? You would think your special attack is better, which technically it sort of is. You get 2 attacks, but your top DPS, like your max hit, is better if you don't spec. Super weird. Yeah, it's not necessarily that we want range to be buffed. We're just talking about like it's very inconsistent. Like it doesn't make sense, right? It's not like MSB isn't even that good anywhere other than like PKing. Like people use it a lot for PKing. It's just one of those things that makes me scratch my head. Bizarre. Very bizarre. Right. So Chase, what's your idea for the sign off, dude?
The sign-off idea is fuck, marry, kill, but we don't do it. Shane does.
What?
All right.
Okay.
We're picking who fuck, marry, kill for
We
Shane.
will decide the category of people or NPCs or whatever. So who do we want Shane to pick from? Do we want to do the one where it's streamers?
Oh no, please no.
Yeah.
Because Shane's
yeah.
not a streamer, so it's fine if he does.
Shane's on a streamer.
Yeah.
He's not biased. It won't be weird.
Won't be
Shane's
weird.
just a community
Isn't
member.
that weird?
It's a little bit weird. But
RS streamers only. We'll do RS streamers only.
our streamers only.
Rip ST Peach.
Do we want to choose the 3 for him, or do we want it to be all open?
I think you guys should choose 4.
I mean, we
He
can
wants-
easily just choose 3.
All right, he
male
wants us to
streamers
choose
for
3.
him.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so Bodhi has to be up there. Bodhi has to be one.
Yeah, Bodhi's on the
Yep.
list.
Oh man.
I would like to nominate Tony.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Tony's on the list.
I like it.
Oh, who's the third?
Oh no, this is bad.
Nigel, you choose the 3rd. Rob and I have each said one.
Oh man. All right, let's see here. Moni RS.
Oh my god. Bodhi, Monty, and
Just because I think he's just a weird duck. He's the odd duck.
Who's Tony? I like that comment. Throws into sharp relief why Tony's wrong.
He's
about
RS
everything.
Glory and
Oh, man.
old.
I
He's a
feel
RS3
so
streamer.
bad.
RS Glory and old.
I really.
All right.
Um.
All right. Make sure to talk this way.
Okay, yeah. I'd probably marry Bodhi because he's probably the most handsome out of all of them.
Also, you'd be financially stable.
And
Yeah.
yeah, financially
As
stable
fuck.
is what the
Yeah,
key point
He
is.
crushes
here.
it.
Damn. I don't think I'd want to fuck Tony, and Tony's already.
I don't think I would either.
Tony already.
I guess you're killing Tony. Like
Tony
you have
already
to, right?
sounds like he's dying when he coughs. So I mean, is it really that bad to say that I'm okay if he dies?
Oh my god.
This is just in hypothetical terms. This is not what
Yeah, I
I
know.
actually
I mean,
desire.
hypothetical.
The game is
We're
fuck,
not
marry,
looking
kill.
at
It's,
ill will
you gotta choose. It's
on
fine.
Tony
But
here.
Tony's already reaching, the breaking point.
He's in his
of-
golden years, so to speak. RS
He
glory
can't
and
say
golden
Ben.
years.
He can't say Ben.
He can't say Ben.
I mean, man, I feel like such a dick. But
we made you do this. Don't worry about it. So then you have to fuck money.
I'd probably fuck money and then kill.
How do you think Bodhi would feel about that since he's your waifu now?
WTB wants to see you, Shane. Lean in.
Oh, what?
There's Shane.
Hi. I'm short, so
He's tethered by the headphones he's wearing. He can't lean
Yeah.
in too far.
I mean, if Bodhi, like, there has to be some kind of there has to be some kind of spice in the love life to keep him interested. Be like, okay, I might lose Shane to Mani, so I have to work twice as hard.
Well, you're playing the maybe my boyfriend will get jealous card.
Yeah.
This is like really deep for fuck, marry, kill.
Yeah. I think that's my take on that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
pretty
agree
good.
with that order.
That was fun.
Okay, good.
I enjoyed
It's
that.
a good sign off then.
Look, it's Kristen. Hi, Kristen.
Hey. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap things up, I think.
Yep, it's time to wrap it up, guys. I hope
Yep.
you enjoyed the podcast today. We had a good time. I hope you guys did too.
Yep.
We're gonna go ahead and toss a host to someone, but yeah, it's been fun, guys.
Thank you for watching.
Great having you guys for RFD podcast number 8.
Follow all of us on Twitch if you want. Come check us out later.
Do RFD cast.
We're all on on Twitch. We're all on Twitter.
I'll do this. The command sell us out.
Yeah, there it is.
All right.
Got it. There's all our links, all our sellouts, all that stuff. We all try to stream fairly regularly. I think Chase is the most on the ball about it right now. I've got a lot of real life stuff going on right now. But, yeah, Rob streams a lot too. Go check those guys out, and I stream whenever I've got time right about now. So yeah, have a good one, everyone.
Night,
We're gonna
everybody.
go toss a host to someone. I'm not sure who yet. But
Bye.
have a good one, everyone.